To get your afternoon boost with Tony Gwynn Jr.
It went from 1 car to 8 cars, so I'm done. We're not doing it.
Chris Ello.
And Andy,
And Matt Scraby.
I've told you guys before, when I was driving my Prius, I was like, hit me, dare ya!
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
As Fernando Tatis Jr. stands in against Sean Burke. First pitch on the way. And Tatis swings, hits it in the air deep to left field. Robertson is back to watch. This one gonna go about halfway up the bleachers in left field for Fernando. His 23rd of the year. And the Padre lead is now 3-0.
And welcome to it, everybody. It's a Manic Monday as we kick off a new week here on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. It is Gwynn and Chris with Chris Ello and Tony Gwynn Jr., who's down at Petco Park, where tonight the Padres will host the Milwaukee Brewers, and Matt Scraby alongside as well here in the Odyssey Palace studios. We've got a lot to get to today. A couple of big deals over the weekend that we will be talking about, not the least of which was a rather eye-opening performance, I would say, guys, by San Diego State's football team as they shut out Cal Saturday night 34-0. Kirk Kenney.
I got to tell you, Chris, before you move on.
Sure.
The UCLA Bruin in here is trying to now.
Oh, is he?
He's trying to come back over.
Oh, is he now? Is he now?
After his team. After the Bruins have already fired a coach.
Look at him fiercely trying to plug things in up there.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Dave Marcus getting fired. He wants a microphone. Give him a microphone. What do you got, Dave?
Aztecs for life.
Atta boy.
ACC opponents left and
boy.
right.
Everybody's an Aztec for life this Monday.
You know, I did see Dave giving free tickets out last week.
He hasn't uttered those words
for a long time.
At least 25 years.
Yeah, thank you,
now,
Dave.
He's come back to. He's trying to come back.
There's
home.
a little room on the bandwagon. I would just say this. I told my wife Sunday morning. She goes, "How was the game last night?" Because I watched it after she went to bed, and I said 34-0, and she went, "Wow." They got beat 34-0 because I think that's what almost everybody would have thought if you 100%. Told them that was the score of the game. So we'll talk about the Aztecs. Kirk Kenney is going to be on the show a little bit. Also, you have to hear the story about drunk Broncos fan. That is coming up in the opening hour of the show.
Me.
It wasn't Scraby, no, but it was an all-timer. At Sofi Stadium yesterday, I went to my first Charger game up there, and you guys are going to hear that story. But we have to start with this, Tony. I mean, you're down there at Petco. I know Scraby and I are coming down there tonight after the show. Probably a lot of people will be coming down there tonight. The Padres have a chance with a victory to clinch a spot in the playoffs. And, you know, before I get too much into it and get some of your thoughts, I just want to remind everybody, this is the 57th season of Padre baseball, 5-7, and a win tonight will clinch their 9th playoff berth. Do not take what is about to happen tonight for granted, or hopefully it'll happen tonight. It'll happen this week. The Padres have kind of felt like they were going to be in the playoffs all season, and I think a lot of people are feeling like, well, but they're kind of backing in. They're not playing great, etc. I don't care, Tony. You don't get to the playoffs all the time. And the fact that they're going to go, that is cause for a little champagne popping, hopefully tonight.
I would suggest everybody appreciate these times and enjoy it. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's only the second time in franchise history, if the win happens, that they've been able to do it in back-to-back seasons. I mean,
right.
So, these times don't, I shouldn't say that. Let me rephrase that. These times haven't come around very often in our livelihood. And so, I would just say appreciate it. Padres on the cusp of locking in a playoff spot with a win today. I'm not sure. I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure they're going to, celebrate it. But, I don't know if it's going to be the type of celebration it's been the past, year or 2 out of 3 years, right? Because this is becoming something that is expected of them. And I think there's further expectation. So we'll see how they handle it today. Just some early developments. Xander out early, running bases, taking ground balls. There's talks that he could be back as early as Tuesday, tomorrow. We'll see if that happens. If that is indeed the case, I think everybody should be very well aware his bone in his foot is still broke. And it'll be broke for, based on other human bodies, about another 2.5 weeks before it fully heals. And so what does Xander look like playing with a broken bone in his foot? How much of an impact will that have when he does return? We'll wait and kind of find out. But certainly it won't be easy. Brewers coming into town now. Granted, I happened to be on IG Live yesterday with watching the Brewers celebrate, and I sent my man Ricky Weeks, bench coach, a question, or not a question, just a statement. Said, "Hey, drink up.
Yeah, right.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, party as much as you want tonight, guys."
Yeah. Hopefully, they took my advice. Yeah. And we'll see how these guys come out tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It could be interesting. The Brewers did win the division, but they are still have something to play for. They're 3 games ahead of the Phillies for the number 1 seed in the National League. I would imagine they still want that. So I don't expect them to roll over, but hopefully they'll be at less than their best tonight. Nick Pavetta's on the mound. That's the guy you'd want going for the Padres. And Tony, it seems
by the way, this is a superb pitching matchup tonight. I mean, two aces, Peralta and Pavetta going head to head.
You're right. It's going to be a really good game just in that. But, I feel like the Padres have it's been a difficult month, right? The Padres are 11-15 in the last 26 games. They haven't really played great. They had a chance to win the division, and I think there's some, rightly so, some disappointment among the fan base that they did not or probably are not going to catch up to the Dodgers. But again, I think you have to let that all go to the side, at least for tonight. If they win, you got to celebrate, man. You do the playoffs. The first 51 years of this franchise, the Padres were in the playoffs 5 times. And now they're about to make it 4 times in the last 6 years. And I'll say it, what I've said many times. This is the best sustained stretch of baseball in the history of the Padres. Sometimes we don't enjoy it enough. So hopefully tonight, we can have some fun.
Yeah, win or lose, quite frankly, everybody should get over the division thing. It's cooked at this point. I mean, unless something just absolutely bonkers happens, that's not happening. But that doesn't that's just the first piece of the prize that you were looking for. But there are other pieces out there. There's the grand piece of them all. And so that's where the focus should turn. Padres get back. They're just trying to finish the season, playing good ball, creating good habits, something we saw them do a lot more the night before last. Yesterday, it kind of manifested itself in walks. Padres bullpen struggled there a little bit, but ultimately they got the win, which is all that matters. You turn the page to the day. Tough Brewers team. See what you can do.
The Padres walked 9 batters yesterday, and last I checked, Randy Vasquez did not get on the mound at all. Mm-mm. They still walked 9 guys. That's
most all year.
Yeah, that's not what they're after, but hey, they hung on, got the win. Overall for Michael King, 5 innings, again, 4 walks, 4 hits, so there was some traffic, but I feel better. I think most people feel better, after the previous start. And I think the one nice thing about the way it sets right now, Tony, and I don't know how Mike Schultz is going to handle it, but I'll trust him to handle it right. They've got King and Pavetta scheduled at the moment to pitch Saturday and Sunday. I don't think that's going to happen now. I think you're going to end up doing whatever you have to do to rejigger it so that these guys, along with Darvish, are ready for that playoff series in Chicago the following week. And, I think that's going to be really important to kind of monitor that this week, see what he does with King and Pavetta after tonight.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how this rotation is going to look right at this point. I don't know that Mike Schultz knows yet. It's tough, right? Could Michael King use another start? Of course he could.
Yeah, but do you want to?
Do you want to? I mean, And so that's why this is not, I don't think it's as cut and dry as it may seem, because remind you, it was only his second start since coming off the IL, or third start since coming off the IL. And the first one was you didn't notice anything. The second one, certainly noticed. Third one, you certainly noticed. He was just able to navigate it a little bit better than he did the previous start. So is that enough to have him primed for a playoff game in which you're going to see an offense, a Chicago Cubs offense, at least going into this week, that is struggled as well. But nonetheless, it's the postseason. So there's certainly some questions that are going to have to be answered. And you may not be able to get another look in order to best answer those questions, you know?
Yep. And we never take credit for this except for today. I'm going to take credit for it. Ryan O'Hearn was our guest on Friday. Talked about him snapping out of it a little bit, Tony. He had 7 hits this weekend and the crucial hit on Saturday night to win that ball game. I felt good for Ryan O'Hearn because he had been struggling, and we didn't even bring it up that he was struggling. No. He brought it up that he was struggling. So,
but again, that is like the ultimate, right? You get somebody goes out, put some early work in to try to fix some things. It doesn't always work like this where you don't go do some early works and then 7 hits follows. It doesn't always work that way, but when it does, there is no better confidence booster in the fact that, okay, I knew exactly what I needed to do to fix this.
Yeah.
And now, you know, it's just an ultimate confidence boost. So Ryan O'Hearn, big time weekend against the White Sox. You know, you could really credit him for the reason why the Padres won those 2 games ultimately.
Yeah, and the closer that you guys all want to get rid of, Robert Suarez, got his 40th save yesterday.
Steady Eddie.
You know,
I talked to someone over the weekend, honestly.
You did, huh?
And they're like, why does Chris keep lumping me in with everybody else? Because Chris always says everybody out there wanted him to be not be closer. And the guy was like, I've never thought that Robert Suarez should be moved once. So can you tell Chris I'm not part of that group?
Good for that guy. I'm glad.
There's a simple answer to that question.
What?
He's not talking to you. If you immediately hear Chris's voice and go, oh, why is he talking to me like that? Then he's probably talking to you.
I think they feel some type of way that they're being lumped in with all the people that don't
How
believe.
do they know they're being lumped in?
Because Chris says everybody out there.
I just say you guys.
That's everybody.
No, it isn't. That's you guys that want him disposed as closer. That's who I'm talking to. 40 for Suarez, a .93 whip. Again, you know, he's just gotten it done again this year. And the Padres hopefully tonight will get one more against the Brew Crew and get this playoff berth clinched. We have the 3.5 hours or so. As I said, Kirk Kenney will get us caught up on that great Aztec win Saturday night. And I don't care how you look at it. It was great in so many different ways. We'll talk about that. And but when we come back, my trip to SoFi Stadium yesterday, which included an unwanted visit from drunk Broncos fan.
This is worth it, people.
Is that what we're just going to call him all day, as drunk Broncos fan?
He wasn't alert enough for me to ask his name, so this is what we are going to have to call him, Tony. Complete with photos. It's all coming up next as Gwynn and Chris is underway on 97.3 The Fan.
When you stay in your...
Join 97.3 The Fan as we get you ready for the final home series of the regular season. The Braden Soprano Show, Gwynn and Chris, will broadcast live at Baja Ricks Friday from 10 a.m. to 5:40, leading into the Padres pregame. We'll be giving away baseball signed by Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr., as well as tickets to Saturday's game. It's all brought to you by our friends at Santo Tequila. Baja Ricks will have a special game day menu with Santo Tequila margaritas and cocktails. Join us this Friday at Baja Ricks, located at 176th Avenue, right at Petco Park. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Cello, Matthew Scraby. A lot to get to in this segment. The Aztecs put a whooping on the Cal Berkeley Bears, 34-0. We also had Chris Ello and his lovely wife Lori attend a Chargers game at SoFi, and they encountered what we are calling the drunk Broncos fan. And I really shouldn't say they encountered him. He encountered them.
He did
as he laid stretched out on the stairway there.
It was absolutely unbelievable, Tony. And
just tell me when to put up the picture, Chris.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll have you put it up in a second. But we went up. Lori is from Denver, so we did go to the game, and I sent you guys photos from our seats. We definitely had the Bob Uecker seats. We were way up there in the high rent district. Although once the game started, I told Scraby that says once the game started, there wasn't really that bad of a seat. I was about
to say, you don't look like anybody's going to be in your way right there. You're going to be able to see pretty well.
Yeah, no, it was okay. We once the game got underway, we were pleased and we enjoyed ourselves, and it was a really good game. I'll give you my SoFi report in a second, but as the second quarter got underway, we were rudely interrupted by a bit of a commotion. Now, we were sitting on the aisle. Lori was actually on the aisle. I was one seat in, and we were interrupted by a little commotion over Lori's left shoulder. And we turn around, and I'm not kidding you. We look up, and there's this, I don't want to say, heavy set, but big guy with a big orange shirt on or jersey. And he's absolutely rolling down the stairs. And
like rolling,
he just was kind of lumbering, one step to the next, trying
meaning
to get
he had
up.
No balance.
Yeah, he's trying to stand up. He fell, he rolled again, he got up, he tried. Anyway, he finally just gave way and came to a rest and a stop, lied out on his back right next to where we were sitting. And Scraby will show the picture.
It is. Everybody go to YouTube, search 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, I snapped the picture of a drunk Bronco fan. Now that's Bo Nix's face that Scraby put on.
I talked to Tony in the break.
Try and protect a guy.
I put that on in the break because if this person did actually have real medical issues and then we're sitting there blasting his face.
I tell you what, if he really had medical issues, no one around him.
No one's helping.
Look at everybody.
Look at the
guy across the aisle. He's on his phone. He doesn't care.
How long was this human being here for?
He ended up being there the entire second quarter and into the beginning of halftime.
That's a 45-minute time span.
He was completely passed out. There was dribble rolling out of his mouth a little bit. It was complete disaster. And Lori finally turned to me and she goes, "You think we should tell somebody?" And I said, "Well, yeah." So anyway, the sheriffs came up and they looked at him and tried to get him up and out of there. He wasn't moving. I'm
sure he's a big dude. He probably wasn't that easy to move.
Right. He wasn't moving. If anybody's been to SoFi, when you're up at the upper deck like we were, the stairway there is narrow and it's very sharp slant to it. It's not easy to negotiate, even if you're completely sober, let alone passed out. It took about another 10, 15 minutes for the medical people to get there. And when they got there, they started doing all these tests on this guy, Tony. So I started really getting concerned. I thought they were checking his blood. They were looking at his pupils. They were giving him, checking his pulse and the blood pressure. And they were kind of commiserating back and forth. What should we do? And I don't know if they were going to give him an IV. I mean, this is all going on while the guy's lying there completely passed out. And they finally brought the fire department. They brought a stretcher. Then they brought, what do you call that? A gurney to try to take him down in a gurney. Anyway, it was it was a moment to treasure, I guess. I'm pretty sure the guy is okay. We're having some fun here because I don't think anything beyond that happened, but he was that drunk. So it was quite the moment.
The other time.
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Tony.
Well, does your next statement have to do with this?
With this
whole situation?
Yes, it's not what else we talked about.
I don't want to move on. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, the first time I ever went to SoFi, there was a massive fight in the stands and people were throwing drinks. And so I pulled out my phone and I started videoing it. And then I put it up on Instagram like 4 years ago. I got a message 2 years later from a guy saying, "Thank you for doing this video because I just won my court case," because they had no video of it. So Chris, your picture may be showing us that there were, if the guy ever goes to court, he could use it.
Use a court for what?
He said, I was asleep. I wasn't there. I was asleep in the aisleway.
Drunk Bronco fan did not get to see a very good football game yesterday. It was a lot of fun.
Can I get a SoFi report? Because I haven't been yet.
Of course. First of all, like I said, we were really in the nosebleeds. That's 5 decks, and we were in the 5th deck. But I don't think that's a terrible thing for this reason. When you enter SoFi, street level is the 3rd deck. So if you're sitting in the 3rd, the 2nd, or 1st deck, field deck level, you are dug down into the ground. And I think it was Scraby, you were down there and said, man, it can get incredibly hot and humid there.
You guys absolutely crushed me.
Well, I think he was right, because even on the even on the 5th deck, I was kind of hot and humid. There's not a lot of air there.
There's no air.
There's no circulating air.
Yeah, there's a covering over the stadium.
It's see-through, so that you still get the sun rays.
There's an opening on the sides. But they I didn't know if did they put any air conditioning on in there? I don't know, but it was quite warm. So I'll say that. Beyond that, it's absolutely beautiful in every way, perfectly modern. The scoreboard is incredible. So I loved all of the, the visuals. There was a couple of things we noticed. I'll give you them in order of how much this bothered us. The Charger girls are no more. No more Charger girls.
They don't exist.
Didn't see a single Charger girl. So that take that for what it's worth. Secondly, in 3.5 hours sitting there, not one time did they ever refer to the score of another game that was going on in the NFL. There was no scoreboard. There were no highlights. They never flashed a scoreboard on the big. It was as if this was the only game ever being played. I thought that was weird because every NFL game or baseball game I've ever been to, there's somewhere to look to see the scores of the other games.
I think you maybe, because there's 2 sides to the video board. The video board goes all the way around the field. There's the outside and then there's the inside. Because when I've gone, I've seen scores on the inside of the video board. So maybe they didn't show it on the outside.
Somebody would have to help me with that. But I actually didn't mind that, because then when I went home last night, I watched the Red Zone and I didn't know the score of any of the games.
It was right up Chris's alley.
It was right up it was as if I made the decision not to put any scores up. So that was interesting. The third thing, I think you have to be a little old man on the lawn, but they no longer have just a PA announcer who says,
they got a hype person.
They got the hype person.
Yeah.
And the guy screamed at the top of his lungs for 3.5 hours.
Everybody get loud!
Yeah. It's third down, and just incredibly, it never stops. And I just got to the point after a while where I didn't really hear it anymore. So I wasn't going to say it bothered me that much. But I was going to ask you guys, Tony, this is pretty much the way it is in all stadiums now. And I think not only football, but even NBA games, arenas
baseball
now, they're yelling.
Well.
Baseball. So my question to you, is this what we want as fans? To be yelled at and told to yell all night long?
Not me. First of all, Jesse and I have this conversation. A good fan base anticipates when to stand and yell. They don't need to be prompted, right? But when you go across all of these stadiums, especially the ones that are, I would say probably the top ones, they all got them. I know the Giants, they got a DJ that's yelling at us before the game.
Oh, man.
I know the Diamondbacks have one. Colorado doesn't have one. That's you can have,
Colorado, they can afford it.
not all the baseball stadiums have them, but there are a few, and those ones certainly like stand out. Like because before the game, they're talking to you, they're having discussions and different things. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, they call it the charge up to kickoff. And 20 minutes before the game, the guy says, okay, when it's third down, we're going to scream. Yeah, it just was. Anyway.
Did they do the?
It was all day long for 3.5 hours, of course, nonstop.
I've been to 2 Rams games, 1 Chargers games, and the Charger game was so annoying. The Rams game guy goes, it's third down.
But they do that in every. But again, I hear that in the background of every game I watch on Sunday.
Whose house? Rams house.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I again, if that's what we want,
can't just go and watch the game anymore, huh?
Right. If that's what we want, then that's what we get.
Well, I mean,
I don't know that that's what we want, or maybe I'm just, I'll ask some of the people on the chat. I mean, is that what you really want to be yelled at the whole game? Because there's
the answer is no. The answer is no.
I don't think
so. No.
Anyway,
we have another topic that we need to cover with Chris.
Oh yeah, we'll get to
that before Kirk. Yeah, Kirk's coming up next, but we can get to that quickly before Kirk.
First, I'm just going to ask our listeners how they feel about it.
Please.
You ever pulled up to a Padre, let's say, Yankee game?
Okay.
And there are people and there's a person walking around with a Dodger jersey on.
Oh, those are the worst.
How do you feel about the non-jersey or non-affiliate jersey?
Yeah.
At the game.
Yeah.
We'll discuss on the other side. Kirk Kenney. No, we won't discuss on ours. We'll discuss at 4:00. But Kirk Kenney up next. Talk a little bit of San Diego State Aztecs putting it on the Cal Bears. More Gwynn Chris on the other side.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here, don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole, nice smooth delivery, hit it too hard.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here, don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole, nice smooth delivery, hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
Welcome back on what we hope will be a party evening at Petco Park. I believe it is also a Luis Arise bobblehead night tonight. So, man, what a way to celebrate!
Sorry, say that again, Tony. You were down.
Your favorite,
La Rigadera.
Yeah, your favorite player out there, and
here we go again.
The
the generalizations.
All right, I'm talking to all the people that aren't Arise fans, and I've heard from many of them this year. But you get a bobblehead tonight, and hopefully we all get to celebrate the Padres clinching a spot in the playoffs. Saturday night was an incredible night for Aztec football. Kirk Kenney to break it down for us shortly. Couple of quick notes, though, from the NFL yesterday of interest. Najee Harris, Chargers, done for the year. Tore his ACL, or not his ACL. What is it?
Achilles.
Achilles. Just honestly stepping forward to take a handoff, and he just fell down, and you knew that was bad.
Very athletic play by Justin Herbert to be able to jump over him.
Right, he got around him and kept the play going, but that's it for Najee Harris. Your guy Bosa from the 49ers, done for the year, torn ACL. I'm sure you'll have some thoughts on that later. And Dallas, as if things could get a whole lot worse for the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb could be out, it says, 3 to 4 weeks.
I wasn't laughing at CeeDee Lamb. I was just laughing at the state of the Dolphins. I don't know if you guys noticed.
The Dolphins, or the Cowboys,
sorry,
you mean?
Sorry,
okay.
Sorry.
It's like, man, the Dolphins, we've already kicked enough one.
I know the Dolphins have got plenty of
I'm
attention.
not trying to kick the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I do notice that, and this is, I think it's pretty frequent. They'll, especially when the Cowboys are getting dogged like they are, they'll pan up to the owner's box. And Jerry Jones has this weird smirk on his face, almost like he doesn't know where he's at when he's watching. It's like he's got this I'm gonna find a picture. I'm gonna send it to you. Someone sent it to me, and it's the same look from this guy.
Yeah,
all the time as his team is.
He looks
just
a little
getting
confused.
mollywopped.
He looks a little confused.
Yes.
And then his son.
He's like, when is Micah Parsons going to get into the game?
Yeah, his son leaves.
He's going to get to see plenty of Micah next week. By the way, can't wait.
Next week is the game against the Packers.
Can't wait.
And I imagine the Packers will be in quite the mood after what happened to them yesterday, as they took Scraby and many of you with them on the Survivor pool. Sorry about that, everyone.
By the way, we got Spiros in the lunchroom today. That's what's catered in today.
April taking care of you guys.
Now I need to go to Petco. I
might have to leave now. Baby. I might have to actually leave now. Scraby, you do the rest of the show. There's one other
note. Are you going to bring
me
Spiros then?
Sure. There's one other note that I thought was just popped up here. This is an NBA story, but it's kind of a big one. Fred VanVleet of the Houston Rockets apparently tore his ACL, and he is probably going to miss the season. That's a pretty big. Isn't that the team that Durant went to, right?
Yeah.
So
got a lineup.
Yeah, we got a weird lineup too.
Well, let's hear it.
I'm
Scraby,
trying to get Kirk on the phone. We'll do this
while we do the lineup. Tony, you want to do the lineup?
Let's get you the weird lineup, as Mr. Scraby called it. Luis Ariz is your leadoff man here tonight. He'll play first base. Manny Machado slides into the 2-hole. He'll play third. Jackson Merrill hitting third, playing center field. Gavin Sheets, the designated hitter. Ryan O'Hearn, the right fielder in tonight's action.
All right.
Jake Cronenworth at second. Bryce Johnson in left. Jose Iglesias at short. Elias Diaz gets to start behind the dish.
Night off for Fernando.
Night off Fernando, indeed. And a night off for Fermin. I guess you could say that. And then,
but he always gets one with Pivetta pitching, right? That's Diaz's guy.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Good point.
All right. So Brewers don't have a lineup out, if you're wondering.
No, they do not.
Saturday night, though, the Aztecs hosted Cal, and this was, I think, in the minds of most people, Tony. I said it to Scraby last week. I thought it was a night that was going to be an important one in the whole, I didn't want to overstate it, but I thought really important in kind of the progression of Aztec football. Like, either they're going to get whooped like everyone thinks they're going to, and another season's going to kind of meander down the road.
Yeah.
Or Sean Lewis is going to be right. And because he said after they lost to Washington State, we just played bad. And he said, we got 2 weeks, we're going to get it together and blah, blah, blah. And I said, or they're going to win and actually going to get, people are going to raise their eyebrows and go, wait a second, maybe this guy is he's got something here. Well, they didn't do either of those things. They didn't get whooped and they didn't win. They whooped Cal. I mean, it wasn't even close. And defensively, they absolutely, positively dominated the night.
They did. Had a pick six, 96 yards, was it?
Had a fumble 6. It was just a great performance all the way around. Our guy Kirk Kenney was there from the San Diego Union Tribune. And Kirk, thank you for joining us, as always.
Hi, Kirk.
Hey, guys.
I assume
Hello.
Are you already driving to Northern Illinois? I know how you're loath to fly.
No, I'm parked at Chick-fil-A about to have lunch.
Of course you are.
Of course you are, Kirk. Kirk is the funniest guest we have on a consistent basis. Kirk, I think even the most negative thinking of Aztec fans after that game on Saturday night would have to say, wow. That was really something. For their defense to get a shutout, they ran the ball. They made some big plays in the passing game. They dominated up front. Their secondary, I thought, was incredible in coverage all night long. And for 34-0, man, I felt good for Sean Lewis, but I felt better for those kids because they played and they've been working hard and they haven't had anything to show for it. But, man, they had something on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, and I wrote about it. That was their signature win. You can talk all you want about they're doing the right things, they're working hard, and the coaches are coaching them up. But until you actually have something to hang your hat on, it's all just talk. And so they went out and they proved it. And I think going forward, they always know, no matter what circumstances they're in, they know they have it inside them to produce.
Kirk, I think you referred to it as San Diego stinking state. in your three things that kind of your three thoughts on the game. I mean, for a team to have the type of loss they had the week before, Coach Lewis talked a little bit about learning how to win. I would say this. Would you say that this goes a long way in helping these guys believe that they can go out and not just win but dominate if they go out and execute?
Yeah, I think very much so. And you know, in this day and age, people are so much, what have you done for me lately? And I can't believe how many people I saw because they had a bad game at Washington State. They're saying they're done. I had a longtime friend tell me, I only see this team winning about 2 games. I'm like, how do you say that after 2 games of the season when there's 10 left?
Right.
And to have a performance like this, now, you know, and Sean Lewis cautioned too, you know, don't get too high either. There's still other work to do and there's things they can improve on. But, you know, you definitely come out of this with hope. And that's something that 2 weeks ago, a lot of people had no hope.
Yeah, for sure. Kirk Kenney is with us, Aztecs, with the big one Saturday night. Like I don't know if you heard, Kirk. I told Lori, my wife, the next morning because she said, "How did the game go last night?" Because I watched it after she'd gone to bed, and I said, "Yeah, 34-0," and she said, "Oh my God, they lost 34-0." I said, "No, they won 34-0." But I think a lot of people are thinking that, right, coming into that game, and then this kind of result. What are you hearing, and what is kind of the feel around campus in the 48 hours since, as far as, you know, what they've done here to hopefully get everybody back excited about Aztec football a little bit?
One of the first things I heard people saying or texting was, "Where did that come from?" And, you know, I guess I was hearing today, the players are back on campus getting, you know, pats on the back from, you know, some of their classmates and things. But Sean Lewis, he said after the game to them, you know, enjoy this for 24 hours and then they're looking ahead. And I think that's always the big thing with these. And I asked, you know, how do you prevent from a letdown? And it's by, you know, focusing on the next thing at hand and not getting too full of yourself on what you just accomplished, which is also funny to me about, you know, fans can enjoy this for days and days till the next Saturday kickoff, whereas the players and coaches have to immediately, you know, put it aside and maybe they can look at it with a long view at the end of the season. But right now they need to focus and make sure they're ready to go for the next one.
Kirk Kenney joins us. He covers San Diego State with the Union. And Kirk, you know, a team goes out and they shut out a team. They hold them to 0 points. That could raise expectations. How good can this defense actually be? I mean, I know we certainly can't expect them to throw zeros up every week, but is this kind of the expectation of them at least being able to go out, get that type of stops they got in this past week?
Like you said, you can't expect it every week, but they have now 2 shutouts in 3 games. So that's pretty impressive. There's almost every starter came back on this team, so there were high expectations for it. And this is, I think, the first glimpse that when all cylinders are firing, when they're getting a good rush up front and the guys covering in the back are doing their thing, that this is the kind of things that they can accomplish. We're not going to expect a shutout every game, but I think it should be a pretty good defense.
Kirk Kenney is with us. Last year, we were lucky enough to have a few players come in and visit us before the season, Kirk, and one of them was Dale Sean Staley. And really enjoyed getting to meet this young man. And, you know, he was player of the week, and he deserved it. I mean, he broke up the pass on 4th down at the beginning of the game. He forced the fumble that led to the 6, and then he had an interception himself. But he didn't do it alone, right? I mean, the guys around him in that secondary were on those Cal receivers. There wasn't a lot of room to complete passes. That secondary had an unbelievable game, and I just thought that's where it all kind of started.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's where they have more depth and experience than anywhere on the field, and it really showed through. Especially appreciate watching Chris Johnson, watching him jump the route at the 3-yard line and taking that 97 yards. And he had a couple blockers up front. You could almost just see the giddiness the last 50 yards as he went to the end zone. One guy I noticed early, another defensive back, Bryce Phillips, it looked like they were almost targeting and going after him, and he just kept at it, and then he started making plays too. And it's so fun to watch when it just kind of starts to mushroom. You can see after each play they were just getting more and more confident in what they're going to be able to do.
Offensively, they were able to move the ball. They ran it well. They had some big plays down the field. I mean, This is often the most talked about part of San Diego State coming into the year, right? Is will the offense be able to move it? Can they throw it? They seem to do a little bit of both in this game last week.
Yeah, I think the defense really sparked them, but I mean, Jaden Denegal, I believe, was 15 of 18 passing. So
yeah,
after having some struggles at Washington State, he showed a lot better. John Lewis was talking about how they maybe called a few plays that kind of get him in a comfort zone and get him going, and I think that was very true. And Lucky Sutton had a good game. The running game looked like it was there, and it didn't have to try and do too much. They weren't in a hole. They were benefiting every time they took the field from something the defensive end did, and it just all kind of came together.
Jordan Napier had a big game too, receiving. This guy's a definite weapon, 9 for 154, and took that first big pass, an 80-yarder to set up the first score. I know now another thing people are going to want to talk about, Kirk, so let's not leave it totally aside here. They did work really hard to try to get people into the game, get some fans there. They reported 31. You said it was probably closer to 22 on the turnstile count. But even 22 is a step in the right direction. Obviously, this kind of win is what they needed. And you also talked about that some of the tickets they gave out, they did not give out haphazardly. They had a little plan moving forward with this. And, we'll see in 2 weeks when they host Colorado State. But hopefully this kind of turns the corner there as well.
Well, I've always believed that you need to get people in the stands to create an atmosphere, and it'll start building on that. And I've said and written, I think they priced tickets too high, so they need to solve that and kind of find the happy medium. But I think this is very much a step in the right direction. There were several times that the crowd really got boisterous, and you could hear a roar of the crowd, like they say. And those have been few and far between the last 2 or 3 years since Snapdragon opened.
That was quite the night. 34 rock, as I like to say back in the day. But what a performance by the Aztecs. And I don't think people realize this was their first shutout win over a Power 4 conference team since 1975. So this doesn't happen very often. And they really had a great game. Congrats to those kids and to Coach Lewis. And Kirk, we'll see you down the road. But thanks for all your input as always. Appreciate you, and have a good trip this weekend. I know you'll
enjoy your Chick-fil-A.
And have your lunch for the 4,428th day in a row.
No, it's only 1480.
1480, Kirk Kenney. All right. Thanks, Kirk. Appreciate it.
Kirk.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
By the way, Kirk is not joking on that. He is.
That's right.
Dead serious.
That is true. He has had lunch at Chick-fil-A that many days in a row.
He legitimately has a sign in a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, right. They
Which one is that
for him? It's in Carmel Mountain Ranch.
Yes,
I believe.
right, yeah.
You can see the Kirk Kenney sign there if you go by. Sean Lewis also, Tony. I know you had a ball game, so I don't know how much you watched, in and out of the game, but really focused, but never too high on the sideline the other night, which I appreciated. He almost made it look like, I don't want to say he expected this, but he wasn't overwhelmed by it, and I think that sent the right message to his kids as well.
I'm a fan of Sean Lewis, man. I like his temperament. I like the way he has handled not just this season, but all of last season. What he said leading into this season. I'm obviously a believer in giving guys a chance, but there's been nothing that he showed me so far that says he can't handle this and that he can't pull this program in the right direction. I don't want to get too high after the 34-0 win,
right?
But it's hard not to. Like we haven't, you just don't. They don't win games like that very often. But he's been preaching this for really since he got here, and hopefully this is a sign that it's starting to turn. And once it turns, we've talked about it. Yes. I think we can all agree that they probably priced those tickets too high. But the number one thing why people don't go is because the program has kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
And so the moment you start to win like that, and not even necessarily 34-0, but you start winning, people are going to show up. That's how San Diego has always worked.
As far as I can tell, that is absolutely 100% true. And one more thing about our guy, Dale Sean Staley. I really like what he told the media after the game when talking about their performance on defense. He said to all the kids on the team that are from the state of California, this is Cal. They all passed on us, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go out and show them what they're missing. That's channeling something in the proper way.
Yeah, 100%. That's how you lead too. That's how you get people to follow you too.
Yeah,
being able to galvanize your teammates like that, and they went out and put a great performance together.
Big news for the Brewers. Brandon Woodruff.
What, they didn't show up for the game tonight?
No, Brandon Woodruff placed on 15-day IL with right lat strain.
All right. Don't have to worry about him
see him anyway.
But that's for the playoffs too. I mean, maybe I should ask on the other side, but does your IL extend into the playoffs?
I believe it does. I was just having this conversation yesterday, and I think I'm pretty sure it's the whole round, maybe even 2.
Interesting.
Ooh, wow.
Well, don't look now, but if the Padres beat the Cubs next week, they would then face the Brewers, most likely. So we know they're going to face them tonight.
I mean, the only way they wouldn't face the Brewers is if the Padres fall below their spot here, or the Phillies somehow catch the Brewers at the top spot.
Exactly. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. Stick around.
Okay, so listen, fall is coming, which means Well, Dylan, I think the first obvious question, long hair, long beard, is have you had a shave since the last game of the season?
I don't think so.
Man.
I don't think so.
That's great.
Why is that?
Just changing it up. Why not? You know?
Okay. All right. I'm jealous of the beard because I'm a guy who likes to grow a beard, but your beard, how long did that take to grow?
I think this is 3 months, maybe.
3 months.
Now,
okay.
is this going to stay as we get into spring? Are you going to keep it? Because I don't think I've ever seen you. I've seen the beard before. I don't think I've ever seen the hair.
No, I haven't had hair like this since I was 12. I'll probably keep it. We'll see how it performs, really.
That's the key. How does it perform?
That's the biggest thing.
Speaking of perform, how you feeling, man? Obviously, spring training right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers report. This is the time of year where the green light goes on again.
Yeah, I feel good. Working on a bunch of different stuff. Biggest thing is really just getting the body to feel good and getting ramped up. But I feel like I'm on track.
How do you deal in terms of getting yourself ready each and every year? You know, ball players are notorious for always trying to figure out how to get a little bit better. You're probably one of the most consistent guys in our league. Is there as much a focus on finding ways to get better, or is the focus how to continue on the path that you've been on, which is a guy who can get in a lot of innings every year?
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what part of the offseason I'm in and, you know, what I'm trying to work on. Like specifically this offseason, I've made a little mechanical adjustment, tinkering with some new pitches. But the bulk of it is just getting my body ready, really. I mean, that's the main focus, main priority. So I kind of know where I need to be in terms of like my velocity and bullpens and building up and all that. So I always like to think I'm adding. I'm definitely working on new pitches and exciting stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, I kind of know that my four-seamer and my slider and my curveball are kind of going to be my main pitches.
Right.
So it's like no matter what, that's my base and foundation, and everything from there is just tinkering and just seeing if I can get a little bit better.
We're talking to... All of a sudden, my mic over there.
There you go.
Sorry. We're talking to Dylan Cease here,
Don't
Padres
panic.
starting pitcher. I wasn't panicking.
You look like you panicked.
I was panicking for one half.
He made me panic.
Did I look like I panicked?
You panicked a little bit, that's
all right. Well, if Dylan says I panicked, then I panicked. I'm going to have to ask the question about, and I know you've been asked this today, but your name has been a part of a lot of trade rumors this year. I think Padres fans want you to stay here in San Diego. See, right there? How do you deal with that? Because I would imagine that would be hard.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's my second year in a row dealing with it, so I got experience now. It's just part of the business, I guess. Really, wherever I go, I'm gonna make the best of the opportunity. I love San Diego and I want to be here, so it's like if I don't go anywhere, I love it here. And if they trade me, then I just have to go make the best of it wherever I go.
Now, Dylan, you talked a little bit about working on new pitches and mechanics. For you, how long does a mechanical change take to be something where you don't have to think about it anymore?
Yeah. And that depends. This specific scenario, I'm working on an upper half thing, a glove thing. So I don't know. It's kind of new territory for me.
Yeah. So you're kind of figuring it out as you go.
Yeah, but it really gets to the point where it feels good, and then from there it's just ramping up the intensity. And because anytime you do something at a higher power, higher speed,
yeah,
it's like a new feeling altogether. So I can sit and train it one way, but until I'm throwing 98 with it.
Doing it game speed, yeah.
And a lot of it, is kind of like learning my body, and then I'll throw a pitch and it's like, oh, that didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Like specifically if I'm throwing a four-seam fastball and I'm trying to throw it just through somebody, but it's yanked, it's like, okay,
yeah,
something happened right there. I don't know, something came off. I didn't use my
legs. You could just feel something different about it.
And then you see the shape of the pitch. So a lot of it's just gaining feedback from what the ball's doing, and then trying to manipulate my body to see, like, oh, okay, when I do this, the ball goes this way, and just see if I can't ingrain that.
Well, Dylan, I think the first obvious question: long hair, long beard. Have you had a shave since the last game of the season?
I don't think so.
Man,
I don't think so.
That's great.
Why is that?
Just changing it up. Why not? You know?
Okay. All right. I'm jealous of the beard because I'm a guy who likes to grow a beard. But your beard, how long did that take to grow?
I think this is 3 months, maybe.
3 months.
Now,
okay.
is this going to stay as we get into spring? Are you going to keep it? Because I don't think I've ever seen. Go. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby, moving to the 3 o'clock hour. And Scraby and I have been kind of bouncing this off of one another. We don't know how to quite feel about some of Chris Ello's behavior at this football game yesterday. He rolled in with, as I said, his lovely wife, Lori. And mind you, it's a Chargers-Broncos game.
Kicked a drunk guy while he was down.
Yeah, stepped over a guy to go to the bathroom while he was lying there.
Stepped over him like he was Allen Iverson stepping over Tyronn Lue in the final. And as he's doing this, he's rocking a Tannenhill Dolphins jersey.
Like at first, okay, I'm gonna put up the photo. At first, when he sent us this yesterday, I thought, all right, that's cool. That's a great picture of you and your wife at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah,
it's really weird. You always complain about Jalen Waddle, but you have a Jalen Waddle jersey. Oh wait, no, that's Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I've had it for a while. You can see Lori there is decked out. She's got a nice Broncos shirt on, and that's the photo, by the way. If you've never been in SoFi, that's at the top of the third deck there, which is
the entrance.
Right. That's where you go into the stadium, and then you go up from there. If you look over Lori's shoulder to the right, you see how high up the fifth deck is, way up at the top.
Yes.
That's kind of where we ended up sitting. But yeah, I don't know. I thought for a Charger, I don't have a Charger jersey, and I don't like the Chargers. Lori tried to get me to wear some Broncos stuff, but she doesn't have anything that's my size. So, I thought I'd represent football. I thought it would represent my team. They're down on their luck. They could use a little love. I wasn't the only one. There weren't a lot, but I saw some Packers jerseys and, Pittsburgh and whatever, sprinkled around. But you guys think it was kind of a fashion faux pas. So I get it. I get it.
I initially, I do. I think it's a fashion faux pas, but my two partners here will have different ideas. Dave is in our category. Scraby's and I. He feels like, if you're going to a game, you either wear one of the two teams,
right,
or you just go as a regular fan. Jesse brought up the point that we often see, especially in baseball stadiums, different uniforms that have nothing to do with the two teams playing. So I don't know. Maybe it's a football thing. But But the more I think about it, maybe it's not that big of a.
No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Scravy's going to climb on this one as much as he can.
It's a big deal
because
because
this opportunity.
if I were to see Chris walking around that stadium, whoever I'm with, I'm turning to and being like, "Look at that guy. He doesn't know what game he's at." He's kind of thing.
Well, you know what? I did joke to some people that I must have read my ticket wrong, and they got a laugh out of it. I did see 2 other Dolphin jerseys for what that's worth. I saw some others, but. Anyway,
I think Dave's issue is that it's a Tannehill jersey. He said at least if it's Dan Marino, then cool, you can kind of get away with that.
I do have a Marino jersey, guys, but that was many decades ago when I could fit into that one.
It's too small now.
I might need a little more, the SD Fat Loss to rock that one again. I'm going to take it under advisement if I ever go to another Charger game. I will say this, and I think maybe people would wonder, because it was the opening game of the season for the Chargers, their first home game anyway. And
chat, what do you guys think?
Cody already said that this is a foul.
A foul?
So just don't wear a jersey.
I think there's a lot of haters out there, though. People are going to climb. Yeah, I think they're going to jump on this.
That is not. People are going to jump on this because it's wrong.
All right. But what's not wrong is wearing a jersey of the other team, right? You
can
obviously
do that.
wear that.
They're there.
Okay. Lori, I think might have been overstating it, but it was pretty close to 50% orange in that stadium yesterday.
That's kind of the norm when they play at home, right?
Yeah. It was really. If you were not watching the game and somebody scored a touchdown, you didn't know which team scored a touchdown, other than the Charger yelling boy who would be screaming into the mic.
This brings us to the conversation where it always ends up when we have this type of conversation, is that the Chargers really don't have a home.
They don't.
I mean, the Los Angeles folks have decided they're not high enough on their priority list to support. And, with 18 billion teams in that same spot, it's going to be tough for people to stretch their dollar out to go see that team as well.
I mean, there were some diehards there, of course. I wonder how many of them came up from San Diego. I did find it very interesting that before the game they did one of those, like they do at the Padre game. They show the videos of, your dad and Garvey and
old stuff,
the old Padre stuff. And they did the same thing. So there's LT and there's Seau and there's all the San Diego Charger stuff, and it fell flat to me.
I do
really
wonder with the Chargers off to a hot start, are we gonna get some of the folks that have been in the closet hiding out like they don't like the Chargers to start all of a sudden popping their heads up again?
I have been talking to some football people in the last couple of weeks, and they have felt like the last few years that they have not been allowed to cheer for the Chargers because so many people will think bad upon
That's what
them.
I'm getting at. Like, I'm
so
sure there are
I
people
think
that
they're
were
coming out of the woodwork now.
I'm pretty sure that there were a lot of people that had friends that felt a way about the Chargers leaving and have kept quiet during this time until, they had something to kind of cheer about. And here we are. Were they 3-0?
3-0, one of 6 teams. One of 6 teams.
This might be your best shot to get on out there.
Yeah, I've thought about this not often, but a few times. If the Dolphins ever moved to wherever, Columbus, Ohio, I think it would be hard to root for them. But
I'm going to give it right back to you, though.
But I think I would. I don't know. The 49ers moved to Jacksonville. I mean, I'm not talking even Santa Rosa,
Santa Clara.
Yeah, Santa Clara. But if they
by the way, you told me I don't even live there, so I'm not allowed to feel any type of way about it.
But if they moved to Helena, Montana, I mean, are you? I think it would be hard.
The Chargers moved to LA. They did not move to Helena, Montana.
Okay, I'm just
Helena.
Saying. I don't know.
It is Helena. You're right.
Helena. Yeah. Thank you.
Brewers
guys.
had a team there. That's the only reason why I know that.
No, but would you follow your team? I mean, if they were out of the Bay Area, or if
I've been one of the few that have stayed on board here that I know, should say. I'm one of the few people that in my circle that I know have stayed on the Chargers bandwagon. I think, listen, if you grow up watching a team and they move, you are entitled to feel a way about them moving, but you're also entitled, if you want, to keep rooting for that team. It's the only team you ever know. So I'm cool with that.
Chargers go to the Giants next week, so they'll certainly have a shot to go 4-0. Then the Commanders
really come out the woodworks. Then
Commanders come into L.A. for Week 5, and then the Chargers get guaranteed win Sunday in Week 6 at Miami. So they have a shot here.
I had to share this with you. My buddy CC Sabathia. Is a big
your
Raider
buddy
fan.
CC Sabathia.
He's a big Raider fan.
Okay,
and Raider fans are some Raider fans are kind of like Mets fans. Really, like they expect the worst to happen, and he is in that category. And he was venting last night on IG on his page, and about his Raiders losing again. And apparently he was getting it from some of the 49er fans, and I couldn't help but like laugh out loud when he popped back something San Jose 49ers.
There we go.
I immediately thought
Thank
of you
you
when I saw that.
because I have been consistent about one thing, and the 49ers moving to Santa Clara was, hurtful.
I think you've complained about it so much that you really should actually have your 49er fandom taken away from you.
No.
Well, then stop whining about it.
No.
That's where they play.
But you were saying if your team moved to Columbus, Ohio, you would be. But you've never even lived in Florida,
right?
You've never been.
I've been there twice, maybe 3 times.
Have you ever been to a Dolphins game in Miami?
One.
So, and I'm honestly asking, why would it bother you?
I don't know. I just think it'd be weird. I mean, hopefully I don't have to worry about it, but I don't know. Are you going in 2 weeks when the 49ers come here? You got the Rams coming
it's Thursday night. I can't
Thursday
make
night
it.
game. Yeah.
I usually, one of my friends has season tickets to the Rams. She usually takes me.
Why can't you make it?
It's Thursday night.
It'll also be Game 3 of the Padres Cubs series if necessary.
Yeah,
that's
we
right.
got
That's
playoffs and things
necessary.
like that. Richard on the chat says, and not cheering for the Chargers because of, quote, what people might think is the single most corniest stuff I've heard. I know Richard. He's a really nice dude. But
I agree, Richard.
No, I don't,
people,
because people get so upset and in their feelings.
I've seen people come in fisticuffs over Charger fandom.
Yes.
Before. So
Like, I'm still a fan, and
they
attack those people. And it's like, okay, San Diego Charger fans, this is what I don't get. Is like everybody always says, cheer how you want to cheer until you do something against them.
I think Rich was saying that it's lame to be mad at someone for cheering for the Chargers. That's how I took it. But
well, that definitely makes more sense with his personality. So I would say that maybe that's it. But
I think you guys are leaving one last thing out of how the San Diego fan feels about rooting for the Chargers. I think a lot of San Diego fans think, that if you're rooting for the Chargers, you're still rooting for the Spanos family. And I do think there are a lot of people that are just absolutely will not do that.
Yep.
So there's that part of it as well.
I can identify with those people because there are certain things that I won't do because I don't want to give them money, like order from Amazon.
I will say this about the Chargers.
Wait. You're like the one person on the planet I'm not ordering from Amazon.
You are the only one. Yeah, I don't think you're going to put them out of business.
I mean, the free shipping does really speak to me sometimes.
I don't think they're gonna be hurt by your.
You're not gonna have much success.
You mean my once a month purchase of toothpaste and deodorant is it going to break their bank?
Yeah, no, I think they won't miss you.
There's a lot of different opinions on this whole thing.
On the Chargers?
Oh yeah, Charger loving is Dodger loving.
Well, see,
I don't think so because they're different sports.
Well,
Charger loving or Spanos loving is Dodger loving.
Well, there's no question about that. I don't think anybody, even Tony, would never, cheer and be happy for smiling Dean Spanos in the press box.
Antonio says Amazon's going bankrupt now without my business.
Jeff Bezos just canceled the plans for the honeymoon.
He's like, I need to talk this guy into doing his once a month toothpaste and deodorant buy.
All right, let's get to break. I have to bounce. I'll be back for some Big Five and some GBU.
Yeah, we got it all coming up.
We got some Gambit next.
Gambit coming up next. More Gwynn Chris.
From the
Gwynn and Chris, Monday could be clinching day for the Padres. If they beat the Brewers tonight, it will be officially the 9th playoff berth in the 57-year history of the franchise. 4th in the last 6 years, though. So, again, no matter how crazy and upset we get, and we're complaining about this, that, and the other, we have to keep it in mind. This is the best stretch of Padre baseball there's ever been. Not even really close. And by the way, their preseason over-under for win total was 85.
And they're at 85.
They're at 85 right now. So really, they're about what we thought, and maybe going to finish a little better. I think the disappointment, and there is some, is the fact that the Dodgers were there to be had, and we could have unseated them as division champs.
I do think that will. So depending on what happens in this postseason, I think we will point to that.
We will, but if they end up going to the World Series,
we won't even care.
We'll never remember. So let's try to get it done. Pavetta goes for the clinching spot tonight. The Brewers send a 17-game winner, Freddie Peralta. He's having a year over there for them. Brewers are 3 games up on the Phillies for the number 1 seed, so they have something to play for. But they clinched the division last night or yesterday afternoon. And as Tony said, they were celebrating wildly after the game, and hopefully they were celebrating a little too much. We'll find out how they come out tonight.
I do remember, was it last year after the Padres had that triple play, and then the next day everybody seemed a little lackadaisical.
Dragging a little bit, yeah. All right, we got Padres and Brewers and Sam Levitt's pregame show at about 5:40. Right now we got some Daily Gambit action to take a look at.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We made a whole bunch of bets on Friday before we went into the weekend. Unfortunately, that was the game that the Padres lost to the White Sox on Friday night, so our bets are going to be a little weird there. But we started with Padres-White Sox over under 8 runs in the game. You went over, I went under. It was 4-3, so it was under. It was 7 runs there. And then Dylan Cease over under 6.5 strikeouts. We both went over. He ended up with 6.
Come on, Dylan.
Just under. And he gave up that 2-run home run
in the first inning. That was the 8th home run the Padres have given up in the first inning this month. It's only September 22nd. They've done it 8 times. They've given up a home run in the first inning.
It kills me when I hear it. I'm like, really? Again?
I know.
Dodgers on Friday night -1.5 over the Giants. We both went Giants, but the Dodgers won 2-1. Phoenix Mercury against the New York Liberty on Friday. Phoenix -3 on the spread. You went Phoenix. I went Liberty. Mercury won 79-73. I think they ousted the Liberty.
They're already into the semifinals now. Phoenix is down to Minnesota 1-0. And Indiana, the Caitlin Clark-less Indiana, beat Las Vegas on the road yesterday. So they're up 1-0 in their semifinal.
So are we saying that the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark?
I don't know that we're saying that, but it is pretty ironic.
It is. The next game, UCF against North Carolina.
Belichick.
UCF -7 on the spread. Now, I went North Carolina. You went UCF. UCF won 34-9. But
what's the fallout with Belichick right now?
I'm
not hearing a lot.
No, I'm hearing a lot.
I'm
hearing that everybody's over the Jordan Hudson thing, which I'm like, really? Why are we still paying attention?
I know we're blaming her for all of this.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess he said he called UCF Central, and that was offensive to the UCF people.
All right, that's silly.
Anyway, they lost big time. Scott Frost is not my favorite coach in football.
Oh, he's Central
college football.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who left Nebraska and didn't tell his kids, and then they announced it during the post game of a bowl game. Anyway, Texas played Sam Houston State, 39.5-point favorites in that one. You went with Sam Houston. I went with Texas. Texas won 55-0. We'll talk about Arch Manning and the Longhorns in the Big Five.
All right, we're going to hear more from Arch. Okay.
Yes. Cal, 14-point favorites over San Diego State.
You didn't believe, Scrape?
I didn't, and you barely believed. You went Aztecs, I went Cal. And we know that the Aztecs won 34-0. Now, the final one, Chargers minus 2.5 over the Broncos. You picked Denver. I picked Chargers. Chargers won 23-20.
On the last-second field goal by Dicker, the kicker. You're going to hear more about him in the Good, Bad, and Ugly.
Dicker! The kicker!
Yeah, you're going to hear all of what we're talking about. All right, tonight, Padres go for the clinch. Milwaukee's actually favored in this game by a run and a half. We're not going to do that. We'll do the 7 runs, though. Over under 7 runs. That's not very many. But you do have 2 very good pitchers. I'll say under.
You know, I saw something.
Peralta.
I saw something on the chat just now, and it scrolled by me, so I can't give this person credit.
Oh,
but what is this lineup tonight?
Fernando's just taking the night off.
I know, but it's just like, why are they giving Fernando a night off the night they need to clinch?
Right, he could do it.
He could do it the next 5 days. I'm not saying there's funny business here. I'm just like, why do we have the same lineup every single game, basically,
except for the
entire
night we can
year?
clinch?
Except for the night they need to clinch.
Seems a little odd. I agree there.
I'm going to go with
far be it for me to criticize the guy who pays my paycheck, Mike Schilt.
That is true.
Yeah,
that's why I do it, because I don't get any money.
You don't get anything.
I'm going to go over.
All right.
What did you say?
I went under. Who pitches more?
Oh, and there's no Ramon Laureano either.
Yeah, that's right. He's got the night off. All right.
What's happening?
I don't know. Mike Schilt knows what he's doing.
He does.
Trust me, Scrape.
He does.
Trust me, Scrape.
No, I know that he does. It just seems like a very weird spot to give days
Trust me,
off.
Mike Schilt. He's, don't forget, Mike. My Zelle number.
Your Zelle.
Just put the money right in there. Pivetta or Peralta, more innings pitched tonight? 2 starting pitchers. Who pitches longer tonight? They're both good, obviously.
Yeah. I'm going to go Pivetta.
Pivetta. Yeah, they took him out early last week. He wasn't too happy with that, so I'll take Nick as well. All right, yes or no? Brewers run in the first inning.
Oh.
Come on, it's got to be no. Not only the Padres giving up 8 home runs in the first inning this month, but their team ERA is like 8 in the first inning this
crazy.
month.
It's
I'll
crazy.
say no, though. Hopefully Pivetta get through it.
Yeah, I'm going to say no as well.
Going to say no. We got a good NFL game tonight. Baltimore and Detroit. Over under 53.5 points at Baltimore. Lions scored almost that many themselves last week.
I face Sammy Lev tonight, and I need 42 points, but I have Lamar, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta.
Wow. That sounds like a win for you.
Yeah, we still have to do it.
But you never know. You
have to do it.
You still have to do it. What are you going over then?
Oh,
53.5 points.
I'll go over.
All right, I'm facing Odd Thomas. I'm down to only 11. I have Zay Flowers and the Detroit kicker. That also seems like a win.
That does seem like a win.
As you said, you still have to do it. I'll say over. Jared Goff or Jeff Goff, minus 30 yards passing versus Lamar Jackson. I'm going to take Lamar plus the 30.
Me too.
All right.
Lamar's not a bad passer.
No.
30 yards is a lot to give Jared Goff. I think.
Derrick Henry minus 30 rushing yards versus your guy, Jahmyr Gibbs. Imagine you're going to take Gibbs here. You need the yardage.
Yes.
Gibbs. Derrick Henry only had about 8 yards last week. I don't know where he went.
They didn't need him.
I know. But he normally shows up on Monday night. I'm going to say Derrick Henry minus 30. And Zay Flowers, my guy, 75.5 receiving yards. I don't want to jinx him, but I also want to have faith. I'll say over. It's not many.
That's something that we share, Chris. In my friends league, I have Zay Flowers as well. So I'm going to say over.
All right. There we go. We'll see how those go. All right. Good, Bad, and Ugly is next. Week 3. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good games. What is it? The weirdest week you've ever seen in terms of blocked field goals?
There's always some sort of theme with
and
each NFL
defensive
week.
touchdowns and
This
pick
week.
sixes. It was weird. We'll get into all of it. And the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 3 when Gwynn and Chris comes back.
Ben and Wood.
you love Mediterranean food, like I do, Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine, Coronado, La Jolla. Also, if you're on your way to Petco Park, they got a location right there, third base, foul line, main concourse, next to Western Metal Supply Company building. Spiro's also catering in the press box tonight, according to Tony Gwynn Jr. Tony is with us here as we get into our good, bad, and ugly. Before we start that, I want to remind you on the show today, sometime in the next 2 hours, we're going to give you a chance to win 2 tickets to see the Padres and Diamondbacks this Friday night. Join the Padres. It's Hispanic Heritage Celebration Night. Diamondbacks, the final regular season homestand. More info at padres.com/Hispanic Heritage. Padres will look to clinch tonight. I will say that. This, Grabe, they better have clinched by the time the Diamondbacks get here Friday night or it'll get a little sketchy.
It's going to get dicey.
Yeah, so let's do it tonight and get it out of the way. But NFL Week 3 wraps up. Good one tonight, Baltimore, Detroit. But before that, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Traffic will precede it.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
We're going to start with a one-car crash on the northbound side of the 163 right at Balboa Avenue. It's in the center divider and traveling on the 8. You got a ladder that fell off a truck, taking down 2 middle lanes on the westbound side at Lake Murray Boulevard. But then after that, wood planks, that fell off another truck, blocking the right lane, again on the 8 westbound at the 805. The 805 looks good right now. But watch out for a stall on the 5 northbound at Mile of Cars Way. It's blocking the center divider. I'm Sue Aller with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And away we go. Week 3, the good, the bad, the ugly. And if you're with us earlier on the show, nothing was uglier than what I witnessed at SoFi Stadium yesterday. Drunk Bronco fan tumbling down the stairs and passing out.
Bad.
That was bad. We talked about it earlier. Scraby put the photos up. If you want to go back, it was something to be sure.
What's the point of paying? Anyway, we've already talked about this. But what's the point of paying hundreds of dollars if you're just going to get drunk and not remember it?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, not just drunk, but so drunk that you are asleep on the stairway.
Well,
he was tired. I don't know that he was asleep, Tony. I think he was near death. I mean, that was the way the medics were attending to him. It was
passed out, whatever you want to call it. His eyes were closed, and he was not watching the game.
No,
I mean, at least
I felt like such a weirdo watching the game with a man lying next to me in the stairway.
Yeah, I would too.
It was so weird.
And then you have to step over it if you have to go to the bathroom. It's really strange.
I held it. I had to hold it.
You had to step over.
There was no way to get past him. All right, we'll go back to that if you want to. Let's move ahead to some actual football. And the 49ers didn't get in here because I couldn't decide whether it was good, bad, or ugly. Their win over the Cardinals.
All of the above.
But I'll let you get a quick note on that, Scraby. You are 3-0, one of 6 teams to advance to that plateau.
Yeah, I love Fred Warner. That's all I got to say.
Fred Warner is he's a man.
For whatever reason, linebackers are what I gravitate towards. I was a Patrick Willis fan, a Ken Norton Jr. fan, now a Fred Warner fan.
Should be a Fred Warner fan. Every team needs one of those.
Although James Conner, that was really hard to see. That was a bad injury. He's out for the year.
Oh, yeah. And the 49ers lose Bosa for the year.
And he tore his ACL, so that's great. And Brock Purdy's not playing, but 3-0 with Mac Jones starting 2 of those games, I'll take.
Yeah, it's win's a win in the league. All right, let's get to the good, and we'll start with the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles, who looked down and out at home against the Rams yesterday, but they were not. The birds would fly high in the fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts threw the clutch 4th down touchdown pass to Devonta Smith. But there was still some work to be done as the Rams lined up a game-winning field goal.
The ball is spotted. The kick is away. It's blocked! It's blocked! It's picked up by the Eagles. Running with it is Davis. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown! Game over! Jordan Davis!
Are you kidding me?
Blocked them again!
Are you kidding me?
Blocked them again! Have you ever seen anything like this?
Now, that was old Merrill Reese, who unbelievably called the Miracle in the Meadowlands in 1978. That's the same voice that the Eagles have had all this time. Tony, they pushed their way to a blocked field goal. And
we'll get to the tush push in the big
I know
fives.
you will, but hey, this team, they keep finding a way, and Jalen Hurts finds a way. He doesn't get enough credit, I don't think.
He doesn't. Yeah, I think we need to start talking about him different. I know it doesn't look like Lamar or Patrick or even Josh, but the results are still the same. Matter of fact, he's got one more Super Bowl than two of those dudes I named. So we do need to start putting some respect on his name. Scrape, I just want to remind you how you have ruined Chris on Devontae Smith's name.
I did.
Ever since you you corrected us. I want to remind you that we were saying Devontae at first, but then you corrected us as Devonta.
Yeah, Scraby.
It has not been able to get out of Chris's head ever since.
I know. I took that from a trusted source that was clearly
one
wrong.
of your many trusted sources.
I mean, this guy used to play in the NFL, so he was a trusted source.
It wouldn't hurt if Devontae Smith would take the A spelling off the end of his name.
Why?
I'm just saying.
I still am waiting. Like every time I see his name, I am waiting for the broadcaster to actually say Devonta. And it never happened.
Yeah.
Real quick, on the guy who picked up the fumble and ran it back, that is the reason he's an NFL defensive lineman, because he outran everyone on the field. He's 350 pounds.
I don't think the Rams were chasing at that point.
Still, he was quick.
Apparently, he lost like 30 pounds this offseason, too, to get to that size.
Jeez.
Big man was moving. He could barely talk in that interview, but he was certainly moving.
By the way, was that the bad beat of all time? The Eagles were favored by 3 points. They would not have won the spread even if the guy missed the field goal.
Yeah.
But the fact that he returned it for a touchdown. Anyway,
that
Eagles go to 3-0. Tampa Bay is also 3-0, and it was kind of similar, I guess. First, the Buccaneers blew the game when they had a field goal blocked for a touchdown by the Jets. But once again, Baker Mayfield rallies the Bucs. Third straight game, Scrape, that he's taken his team down the field to win the game. I don't know if it's too early for MVP talk, but I think you got to at least mention Mayfield right now.
I love Baker Mayfield. I've always loved Baker Mayfield. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a team to look out for. They play good enough defense.
They are, but they're cutting it close. That's the only thing that worries me about them. Eventually, they're going to get caught. But
there's some things they gotta shore up before I'm willing to say that they're a team, a real team. There were some quality quotes after games yesterday. Todd Bowles was one of the top ones. They asked him what was his thoughts as that kick got blocked. I can't repeat it what he said, but you gotta be bleeping me.
Yeah, that's what happened there. But the last quote of the game is, I think Scraby's going to talk about it in the Big Five. Belonged to Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
He got the last laugh on his old coach.
If you don't think that guy isn't driven
he
off
is
of
fully
revenge,
driven by a chip on his shoulder.
Yes, he is a revenge.
That's how he became as good as he was at Oklahoma. He was so pissed at Texas Tech where he walked on and did his thing, that they didn't show him no love, that he has been on a warpath ever since.
The one thing with Baker, man, just keep him out of the
Leave
TV
him alone.
commercials. Keep him out of the TV commercials. He's a great quarterback. Final good was the game at SoFi. Here's why I had it good, guys. First, Chargers beat Denver in a thrilling game. The last-second kick we'll hear in a second. But did you see the pass Justin Herbert threw to Keenan Allen for the tying touchdown?
Ridiculous.
There is not another quarterback I've almost ever seen who could not only get the pass off, but put it in stride on the money to Keenan Allen, and he had great coverage on the play as well. Herbert is doing some things here. Man.
He's trying to turn that not clutch thing
on
his head right now. That throw was dumb. I don't even know that he had both feet planted when he threw it.
But you notice what he did, though? It's so fundamental. He immediately, when he got outside, he turned his shoulders back downfield.
He did.
You could see him set himself. And even though he wasn't set, he still got it there.
It just shows you he probably has one of the strongest arms, too, because he got enough velocity on that in that tight coverage to fit it in there. That was pretty special.
He's getting better at running, too.
It was a great game. Needless to say, drunk Bronco fan was not around at the end to see what happened at the wire.
For the game. Snap good. Hold good. Kick. It's good. Cam Dicker. The kicker.
secures victory as the Chargers start the season 3-0, knocking off each of their AFC West division foes in the process.
I apologize for the music behind it. That's the only way I could find the
That's
highlights.
fine. I will say
I don't
this.
like 3-0, by the way. I like
3-0.
I don't really like good Cam Dicker. I think you need a little more.
The kicker.
I think you need more there. One last thing for Charger fans, and there's still some left I know around here. Last time they beat their divisional opponents for the first 3 games, 1994.
Ooh, Super Bowl.
What happened on that Super Bowl, though?
They lost, but they got
the team that the NFL was cheating for at the time, the
That's
49ers.
Right. See, it was much
they
easier
helped
for the
beat
Niners in those days.
No, they were so good that no one needed to cheat.
On we go to the bad, and you got to start with the Green Bay Packers here. I know Scraby would like to start with them. They eliminated him from the survivor
Packers
pool.
Have tortured me my entire life.
How did this happen, Tony? It was 10-0 with 3.5 minutes to go in the game.
You're telling me?
I couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it. And then the
Joe Flacco, like 97-year-old Joe Flacco.
Okay, with all due respect, what did he have to do? They only gained like 3 yards. They had a turnover. They had a fumble. I mean, they just, they set up a field goal.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, the kid with no vowels in his name hit the game-winning kick for Cleveland at the end.
How do you pronounce it,
I have
Chris?
no idea. I'm going to listen to the announcer pronounce it.
Good idea.
2 seconds. The snap is back. Kick is up. And the kick is right down the middle. And it's gone. Wait, there's a flag. It's good. Andre Smith nailed it. Green Bay's throwing a helmet.
Okay, wait. Did he pronounce the guy's name as Smith?
I think it's Smith.
I don't know if you've seen the spelling on it.
It sounds
Smith
like he
is the
said
last thing you think of.
SZMYT. Smith.
Smith.
DT. Smith.
SZY. I don't know. Anyway.
Smith.
55 yards was good enough to beat the Packers and eliminate a lot of people from their survivor pools.
I was like, I did that thing where you do when you have something on the line, and I was like, penalty! It's on the Browns! And then they're like, game's over, and I threw my remote, and I walked out of the room. I was like,
that was your last bit of hope right there.
It was.
That's okay. You have other things you can do now on your Sundays.
Except for watch my fantasy.
You can watch your undefeated Niners.
Thank you.
Cheat their way to victory.
That took me off guard.
Also in the bad category, the Dolphins don't quite escape. They played better. They get brownie points for that. But ultimately at the end, they made the stupid mistake that losing teams do. You can't run into the kicker, punter there and give Josh Allen an extra possession. Buffalo goes ahead. Tua throws the late pick. Dolphins come up short again on Thursday night, 31-21. Again, Buffalo seems to be touted as one of the top teams, but how top can you be when you're taken to the fourth quarter at home by Miami? I'm still not convinced with Buffalo.
A win is a win is a win.
Okay. What, Tony, your thoughts on Buffalo?
I agree. They're not as dominating as they should be.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Right.
Like this is a team that was on the cusp of going to a Super Bowl, and listen, maybe we are nitpicking as they have
maybe a little
gotten
bit
off to a good start.
But
you're right. I kind of feel the same way.
If Bozo number 92 doesn't roll into the punter.
Bozo number 92.
I was so
in your
mad.
notes, it says highly paid defensive tackle Zach Seiler.
Yeah, well, let's call him Bozo number 92. Also in the bad category, the Houston Texans. They fall in Jacksonville 17-10. I put them in because they're 2-3 times in a row they've won this division. They're now 0-3.
They've won 10 games back-to-back years.
Right, and C.J. Stroud just doesn't look right. Can we blame this all on the fact they don't have Joe Mixon? Houston doesn't look right to me. Not yet.
I watched one of the games that was what was it, Sunday night? It was a
Thursday
late game.
night game against Tampa Bay. I think maybe
they don't protect him
Is
very
that it?
well at
No.
all, and it just seems like he's starting to get the same feat I saw with my
Happy
man
feet?
Russell Wilson last night. Like he's just
waiting to get hit,
just dancing back there.
You got to put
I should put my feet down.
Put the Hacienda music on for that. There you go. He's got some movement. Tony's got the moves.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, Jacksonville wins 17-10. They're 2-1. Look out for the Jags.
Travis Hunter, I think, is going to end up playing more defense than he is offense this year.
I feel bad for anybody.
He's good at defense. He's really good.
I feel bad for anybody who wasted a fantasy pick on him.
Yeah, I was watching little remember Mighty Mouse Steve Smith talk about how he thinks he as opposed to being good at tough position, he'd rather him be great. And he thinks he could be as a wide receiver, but his routes right now they're not NFL ready.
Yeah.
And if
that's probably why he's
probably not getting enough work on them. He's not getting enough work on them.
He's literally splitting.
Yeah.
You got dudes who are like the best at their
in the world.
Craft,
and they're practicing
that work
every
on
day.
it every day. He's splitting that between two positions at the NFL level. I think that's going to be tough. I don't think he could ever reach Pro Bowl status or whatever that is at any of those positions as long as he's split.
I mean, Jacob Mizorowski can make the All-Star game. Travis Hunter is a two-way
Some
player.
people just
Marketing,
are so
marketing,
bitter.
ding,
Some
ding,
people
ding,
are bitter.
marketing.
In the ugly category, it's got to start with the Bengals yesterday. 5 turnovers, 4 of them in the first half. Minnesota ended up running away to a victory. Got to hand it to, was it Isaiah Rodgers, Minnesota safety, 2 defensive touchdowns for one guy.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Mason took care of the other side for the Vikes.
Yep,
yes, he did. Trust me when I tell you.
Okay.
Mason squirts through the hole right up the middle for another Minnesota Vikings touchdown. Second of the game for Jordan Mason, and it's a 40-burger now against this Bengals defense.
48-10 was the final, Minnesota. And Kevin O'Connell roll after looking terrible the previous week. So you never know with the NFL. Another team that looked incredibly bad yesterday was the Saints. They fell behind in Seattle 34-3 at halftime. I don't even think the Seahawks came out for the second half. They just, rolled the clock and let them win the game. It was so bad.
It was bad.
And Seattle scored in every which way, including this long punt return.
Horton back at his own 5, gets 1 block, gets 2 blocks, turns upfield, got some running room across the 30, 35, he may go 40, what a block, midfield 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, Mr. Horton, touchdown, Seahawks.
Compare that to It's Good. Dicker, the kicker.
Dicker! Kicker!
Nah. Seattle 40, I don't know what it was. They find it 44-13, something like that. Yeah. But the worst team of the week, no wonder Adam Klug's taking a couple of days off for Rosh Hashanah. His Atlanta Falcons were
brutal.
Completely embarrassed by the winless Carolina Panthers. Michael Penix looked like he should give the job back to Kirk Cousins, especially with plays like this.
Penix the snap, looking right, now checks down left. Oh, yeah! Shaw Smith-Wade, who walks it in for a touchdown. Shaw Smith-Wade, the nickel.
There, let's go back to the beginning.
Was that the entire booth celebrating that interception?
I'm not sure. Let's hear it again.
Penix the snap, looking right, now checks down left. Oh, yeah!
Yeah, it was. It was the entire booth. The
Carolina radio booth went crazy.
The Dave Marcus of the radio booth.
Yeah, I thought I heard a little Dave Marcus in that clip. 30-0. My goodness, Carolina over Atlanta. All right,
you know what? I had a parlay yesterday.
Okay.
That was a 7-leg parlay. Got every single leg except for Bryce Young rushing for over 12.5 yards.
He had a touchdown rushing. He
Didn't
make the
matter.
12.5.
Over the 12.5.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry to hear that. It's
great, oh, boy.
Maybe I should check.
It's a hang with him.
Maybe he did get it.
It's a hang with him, but stop doing those parlays, honestly.
I hit 6 of the 7 legs.
That's exactly what they want you to do.
I was locked in.
That's what they want you to do.
You weren't locked in. You thought you were locked in.
You thought you were locked in. All right. That's week 3. It wraps up tonight with Baltimore and Detroit. We come back with more Gwynn and Chris. I think we have our Chris versus the fans?
Yes.
All right. Let's play some trivia. 833-288-0973. And we'll do that. Call in. That's next as Gwynn and Chris continues toward what we hope is a Padre night of champagne pouring.
Padres Brewers.
welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. at Petco Park, where tonight the Padres will look to wrap it up, looking to clinch a postseason berth if they can beat the Milwaukee Brewers tonight. That will happen. By the way, no scoreboard watching tonight because it's not like somebody else can lose. There's only 2 other games in all of baseball, and neither of them really involve the playoff picture. I think one is Braves and Nationals maybe, and the other is Cardinals Giants. All those teams are out of postseason consideration. So
I missed a lot yesterday. The Giants are now out now?
Yeah, they lost 3 out of 4 to the Dodgers.
I knew that, but
so that took them out of it. They might be, you know what, mathematically they might be. Yeah. I think they're 5 or 6 games behind the Mets.
But it's not looking likely.
So they're pretty much out of it. I know the dumper there, hit number 58. Cal Raleigh keeps on swinging for the Mariners. They swept the Astros, so they went 3 games up in the West.
Ooh, that's a tough place to be in if you're an Astro fan.
Yeah, the Astros actually, the 2 teams there's 3 teams. There's 3 teams that have been in the playoffs pretty much all year that are now in grave danger of missing the playoffs. One of those is the Astros. They're currently tied with Cleveland for the final spot. The other team that is in grave danger of missing is Detroit.
Detroit?
They're only 1 game ahead of Cleveland and Houston. If both those teams pass Detroit, the Tigers would miss it. And then the third team is the Mets, who have fallen back into a tie with the Reds for the NL's final playoff spot. The other team still alive there is Arizona, 1 game back. So there's going to be some really exciting baseball, the rest of this week. Hopefully the Padres will render all of that stuff moot and just win tonight and reserve their spot in postseason play. A couple of updates Graby had on the lineup tonight, which is without both Fernando and Ramon Laureano. Laureano, scheduled day off.
Yes.
So that was happening regardless. Fernando, feeling a little under the weather.
Yes.
Not going to likely play tonight.
Yes.
Illness, they say, but whatever that means. He's not playing because he's not feeling 100%.
Which I'd rather him feel 100% at the end of the week than today.
Anything can happen to anybody until next Tuesday. Then next Tuesday, everything resets and away we go with the wild card round of the playoffs. So the lineup tonight has a rise at the top, and Machado, Merrill, Sheets, O'Hearn, Cronenworth, Bryce Johnson starts, Iglesias at short, Diaz catching Pivetta, and Xander Bogaerts working out, but probably taking at least another day before they bring him back.
He was on the field doing field work, but obviously not in the lineup, no moves yet. So
all right, so you're up to date on all of that. Padres did take 2 out of 3 over the weekend from the Pale Hose. And now, have you heard that one for a while? I bet you haven't heard that one for a while.
I've never heard that.
Never heard Pale Hose for White Sox?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, Pale Hose. Yeah, that's one of the ones. Anyway.
There's 2 ways that we could think about this whole White Sox thing.
Okay.
We could say, hey, Major League Baseball team, you got to beat every single team. Or you could say, oh, the Padres hung around a little bit too much with a terrible team.
Well, they beat a series from an American League team, which is something they really haven't been doing much of.
So then
year.
We should celebrate.
So I'll take that one. All right, let's go to play some trivia, Scrabe.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. The prize. You'll be qualified for a chance to win the grand prize, a trip to see the Eagles at Sphere Las Vegas, including 2 tickets to the show on January 30th, a 2-night stay at the Venetian Resort Las Vegas, a Vibey VIP package, and a $100 gas card. The Eagles have added 2026 shows to the band's residency at Sphere in Las Vegas on Friday, January 23rd, the 24th, 30th, and 31st. Residency now features a total of 48 shows through Saturday, January 31st of 2026. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
It's a great prize. Not only the Eagles, a lot of people like to watch and see in concert, but you got to go to the Sphere, which is really Worth seeing.
Yes. Is it Eagles only? Is it the Eagles or Eagles? Because I was looking earlier today.
The Eagles.
But they're all marketing their things as Eagles.
No,
and when you look on YouTube, it says Eagles.
It does. You're right. Let's go with that. Eagles.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're not the. No,
They sound a lot better as the Eagles.
They're not. They're Eagles. No, that's good. I think everybody miscalls them the Eagles.
Yes, I was confused myself. The rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you are eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. And if you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that first question for free today. All right, let's go to our first contestant, Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Hello.
Are you ready to play, sir?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good
All
luck,
right.
sir. Good
Here
luck
we go.
to Peter out there. Here we go.
Question number 1. Which Canadian city is the only to currently have a Major League Baseball franchise?
Regina, Saskatchewan. Oh, it's not my turn.
Toronto.
Toronto. What did you just say?
Regina, Saskatchewan.
Oh, my gosh.
Were you worried?
I heard some other word.
You did it?
Yes. All right, Peter. Toronto is the correct answer. Question number 2. Which Padres hitter this season has hit the most home runs at Petco Park?
Good question. I'm just gonna have to go with Manny Machado.
Manny Machado. Stay there, Peter.
Manny.
Stay there, Peter.
Really?
Really?
I was going to guess Manny. Seems like he's hit the most. How about Gavin Sheets?
Sheetsy.
Been the answer to a lot of these questions.
Derry Bonds.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you're still alive, Peter.
You're still alive, Peter. Who was it?
Fernando Tatis
Is
Jr.
it really? Fernando.
And in my research, did you know this? This is my note for the day. Yeah. Did you know Ramon Laureano has hit 9 home runs as a Padre this year, and only 1 of those has been at Petco Park? Kind of random, right?
A little random, but next week we're going to be in Chicago, so I don't care.
That's why I don't care either.
Not at the
All
moment.
right, Peter, you are moving on to question
Chance for the
number
win here, Peter.
3.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, let me get a difficult one. Here's a difficult one. 3 Padres starting pitchers have struck out 10 or more batters in a game this season. Dylan Cease is one of them. Name the other 2.
10 or more batters.
10 or more batters. Dylan Cease is 1. Need the other 2.
Whew, boy.
Pivetta.
Okay.
And gosh darn it. I'll just Darvish.
Darvish.
Goes with the Darv.
Stay there, Peter.
Yeah. I there's only been 6 or 7 guys that have started a game, so there's not a lot of options here. I don't think King, although King, man, that one game against the Rockies, I think he struck out 12 early in the season. I'm going to say King, and I don't know why I think this. Stephen Kolek is my second guess.
He did have a...
I thought he had one, but I'm probably giving it to Peter here.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Oh, God. I didn't mean to do that.
Peter, you won.
Peter, you are the winner.
Oh, my God, I thought I had it.
Oh, man, I don't know why. I thought you had it, too, because Nick Pivetta has done it 3 times this year.
And it was King the other
one? And King was the other one. But Kolek is actually a really interesting guess.
Thought of Kolek. Well, that's good for you, Peter.
Stay there, Peter.
Stay on the line. You have won today's trivia game, and you're going to have a chance to go see Eagles.
Yes. You know, my aunt,
at Sphere in Las Vegas.
Yes, my aunt, she unfortunately passed away from cancer, but she used to say this to me all the time. Why do you Southern Californians call freeways or say freeway with the in front of it? Because it's not the 5, it's 5. It's 805. It's not the 805. That's what she used to tell me all the time.
Aunt, what's her name?
Teresa.
Aunt Teresa.
Yeah.
I
remember she passed away. So.
Oh, God love her. God love her.
I was going to say, before you disparage her.
Yeah, I'm not going to disparage her. I grew up in L.A. area where the freeways are not called by number.
What are they called?
Harbor Freeway.
That's weird.
Santa Ana Freeway, Santa Monica Freeway,
That's
Golden
weird.
State Freeway. So to me, that was an adjustment moving to San Diego and having it be just the 5. I do believe the 5 has a name down here. I don't know what it is.
Golden State Freeway.
No, it's okay, but the Golden State Freeway becomes the Santa Ana Freeway in Orange County, the 5. But what does it become down in San Diego? The 805 Freeway is also called the Inland Freeway. The 163, I believe, is called the Caballero Highway or something like that.
The 163 should be called Never Go This Way.
Okay. The 8, I think, is the Alvarado Parkway or something. Anyway, they do have names. They just don't use them here.
Brandon says 94 is the Martin Luther King Freeway.
That actually, there's a sign for that. But the other ones don't even have signs to indicate their names.
So and people are saying that's crazy that you don't say the before the freeway name.
Yeah, but you can't say
15 is Ted Williams.
Is it?
But Tony Gwynn also has
there's an exit for Ted Williams Parkway.
Tony Gwynn also has a stretch of freeway.
Yes,
that he's
there's a stretch for
after.
Tony. You have to find one of those atlases or maps that actually list the names of those freeways.
Ooh, part of the 8 is the Kumeyaay.
Yeah, Well, okay, easy for you to say. We have a minute here.
Oh, Ted Williams is the 56.
Right. Thank you. Good call by that chatter.
That would be K-Laws.
15 still looking for a name, but I'm sure there is one.
15 is still looking for a name.
We have a second, so let's stop with this and let's put this in.
Whoa.
I said before we have 2 tickets to give away to Friday's Padre Diamondback game.
Yeah.
Let's do it right now.
Whoa.
I say 833-288-0973. First person with the correct answer will go see the Diamondbacks and the Padres on Friday. 2 tickets to the game. With the Brewers in town, though, I came up with this question. There are 2 players in Major League history that have 5 hits in a World Series game.
Wait, say 2 players.
2 players in Major League history
have 5 hits
have
in
5
one single
hits
game.
in one single World Series game. Only 2 guys have ever done it. Albert Pujols is one.
Wow.
The other is a Brewer. 833-288-0973. First person with the correct answer, dial in. Scraby will go to you. Don't ask him what's the question. Just have the answer ready.
What's the question?
Yeah. If you get it, you go to the Padre D-backs on Friday. We'll check traffic while you call in.
From the 855.
congratulations to the very young-sounding Joe out there.
I don't think you should have said that. But...
Why? Joe has a kid's voice.
I believe she.
She. See,
this is why you shouldn't say anything.
That's why I should have said that. You said Joe. I thought, oh.
J-O.
J-O. All right. Congrats, J-O.
We took lots of calls.
We did.
Joe was the only one who got
Joe's the only
answer.
one. Yeah, we usually get those answers pretty quick, but it took a while to come up with Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer for the Brewers, had 5 hits in Game 1 of the 1982 World Series for Milwaukee. Albert Pujols, 2011 against Texas, the only other player to have a 5-hit World Series game.
Man.
There's been a lot of World Series out, over the time.
I mean, 5 hits in a major league game.
It's a lot,
not even...
but you would think in a World Series it happened maybe more than twice. There was a fun little story about the Paul Molitor 5-hit game. I was living in my fraternity back then in the college days.
Wow.
And one of my fraternity brothers, a guy named Jim Haas, called him Jimbo.
Of course you did.
Of course we did. Jimbo came walking in the door before the game with a kind of a forlorn look. And we all said, "What's the matter, Jimbo?" And he goes, "Well, I put $10 in for one of those pools where you pick a square and then the number has to add up for both sides."
Yes.
And we said, "Oh, well, what numbers did you get?" And he goes, "I got 0 and 0. And we're like, wow, that's not good for a baseball game. The only score you can have is 10-0, unless it's 20-10, which is probably not going to happen.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, if you look up Game 1 of the 1982 World Series, the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Cardinals 10-0.
Wow.
Jimbo Haas cashed in.
That is a lucky day.
That was a lucky day.
That
for
is a lucky
sure.
day.
But that was also the day that Paul Molitor had 5 hits. So Joe, J-O, is the winner on that one. Good job, Joe. Congrats. Sammy's coming up, Sammy Lev, at about an hour or so.
There was a little bit of trash talking going in between us this morning.
You and Sammy Lev?
Yeah, we're playing each
you
other
guys
in
have your
fantasy.
big fantasy game. Sam's, well, let's catch people up. Tony's 3-0. He's
Yes.
already advanced to 3-0.
Oh, he's already won his game.
I believe he's already won his game. I have a chance, pretty good chance, I'd say, unless, Zay Flowers doesn't show up. I need 11 points between he and the Lions kicker. So I think I'm going to, you never want to say it because you want to jinx it. But looks like I'll get to 3-0. And then you are trying to stop Sammy Lev from getting to 3-0. You need a lot of points, but you have a lot of people.
I'm down 42 points,
Right.
but I have one of the. If there was anybody I would feel comfortable with, I have that guy, and that's Lamar Jackson.
Yes, he's got to be good for 15 to 20.
And I got Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's got to be good for 15 to 20.
And I got Laporta.
Yeah,
He's not great though.
I like your chances.
Me
I think
too.
I think you'll win, but we'll see. Sammy Lev will be focused on Padre baseball tonight, as will all of us. Padres beat the Brewers. They go to the playoffs. And I'm going to keep saying this because I want to remind everybody, it's only the 9th time in 57-year history. We don't get this guaranteed to us all the time.
No.
It will be the 4th time in 6 years, but think about that. The previous 51 years, Scraby, that's a lot of our lives.
That is.
Only 5 playoff bursts for Padre baseball.
I've been getting a lot of pushback from not pushback, but support from fans about how we are trying to make this a big deal because it is a big deal. There are a lot of fans.
They're saying we're making too big of a
deal.
No.
They're saying we're making a big enough deal about this because
I think we should.
5 playoff appearances in 51 years.
Yeah.
And there are still people out there that think this team is awful and they claim to cheer for this team. Like, this is the best this team has ever been in franchise history.
And that's what I keep trying to say. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't get frustrated and complain like everyone else.
We all do.
But I do try to keep this in perspective. They are on, a great run in that regard. And you and I both, during this very month, have received texts and tweets saying, you guys got to shut up because this team isn't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that a bunch this month. So,
which I don't understand.
whatever.
I don't understand, and I'll never understand because I can't get in that mindset. But maybe that's their way of coping. My way of going into the playoffs, Chris, and yes, they still have to clinch a playoff spot.
Right.
That is not lost on me. But my way of going into playoffs is just hope for the team to show up and be the team that
when they get to
be.
Chicago next week?
Yes. That's all. I'm not going to go into it thinking,
you don't have
they're going to be
time.
terrible.
You don't have a lot of time, and you have 2 games. You got to hope you play well. You hope you pitch. You know, your guys have good games on the mound. You keep them close. You win in the bullpen, and you get some power because it's hard to score runs in the playoffs. But that's next week. I'll worry about that then. I do like the fact that if the Padres beat the Cubs, which is who they're likely going to play, I like the fact that the Brewers would be next, because the other choice is for the Phillies or Dodgers to be next. And I just assume play the Brewers, even though they have the best record this year. They don't have anywhere near the playoff experience of the Phillies or the Dodgers. They just don't.
No.
So, but, you can't get ahead of yourself. I can. I can look at it and go, okay, we got to play the Cubs, then we're going to have to beat the Brewers. Padres can't do that. They have to take care of their business, and hopefully that starts tonight. Fernando, 150 career homers last night.
It's pretty awesome.
All right. Dave Winfield, number 5 on the all-time Padre list. I think when it's all said and done, you're going to get Fernando Manny 1-2, aren't you? Unless Fernando's going to catch Nate Colbert also.
Yeah.
So, and Adrian Gonzalez. So it'll be those 2 at the top.
It will be.
I think when it's all said and done. Luis Ariz, 350 during a 10-game hitting streak. You guys think what you want of him, but I would like to see him be hot right now.
Me too.
If he's going to contribute, he's going to contribute getting hits. He had a key RBI the other night in a victory. 2-out RBI single. You get his bobblehead tonight. Do with it what you want.
I will take one home, Chris.
I know you'll take it home. I think some people, if he flies out to left field again, will throw it against the wall.
No, this is I couldn't believe it how many people took home the Dylan Cease bobblehead, even though they told me he's awful.
Oh, I know. It's quite amazing what they say until the moment is at hand.
Why are they even giving him one? He stinks.
Yeah. We did say this, but we'll mention it again. 178 victories between last year and this year, most ever in back-to-back years for Padre franchise. And this will be only the second time ever that they make the playoffs back-to-back years. That didn't go well, by the way.
Say that one more time?
They've only made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons once before.
So they made it in 2022. They did not make it in 2023.
Right. So this will be back-to-back years.
I didn't realize that.
When they clinch, I'll say it positively.
When they're confirmed.
They clinch, confirmed comes from the soccer term for making it into the playoffs. Our SDFC guys were confirmed into the postseason, so we were using that as a fun way to refer to it. Yeah, the only other time back-to-back years, 05 and 06. And
did they play the Cardinals in both of those years?
And they lost both. So
that's a tough draw.
That's back then.
That was when the Cardinals were
pretty good Cardinal team. That's the only time they've ever been back-to-back, so they can accomplish that if they win tonight as well. We haven't lost sight. If you're just tuned in, we had Kirk Kenney on early. We did talk about that great Aztec win. And I don't think it's being homer to say that. It was a great win. You can't look at 34-0 in any other way than that. They played well. They deserved to win 34-0 if you watched it. They were dominant up front. Their coverage was fantastic in the secondary. They made plays in the pass game. They ran it. The quarterback was efficient. The kicker knocked in a couple of, everything.
Yeah.
So give them the credit that they deserve.
It was a full dominant team win.
For playing a really good game against a Cal team that was 3-0 and now is 3-1. Aztecs go to Northern Illinois next. I was there for an Aztec game earlier in my tenure.
Was that when Jimmy G? Wait.
No.
Is Jimmy G in Northern Illinois?
No, he's Eastern Illinois. Northern Illinois had a really good wide receiver on that team, and he went to the NFL, and I kept drafting him in fantasy. Is this? And he never amounted to too much.
He
was a Lion, and I can't remember this guy's name. You used to give me a hard time
Oh, I know.
And I said,
he
because
just
he's really good. But I don't remember. Do you remember this guy?
Kenny Galladay.
There he goes. Galladay, yeah. I think he went to Northern Illinois, yeah. I always got Galladay, and you're like, why are you getting Galladay?
Well,
and I said, because he's good.
He had one good year.
Yeah, he never really was amounted to too much. But yeah, the Aztecs go to Northern Illinois this weekend. And good luck there. USD had a nice football win. Let's give them a shout out. Down 35-7. They come back and win at Princeton. Nothing wrong with coming back from 4 touchdowns behind.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And SDFC ended up with a tie against Atlanta, or a draw. So they're still on top, although their lead is shrinking a little bit in the West with a few games to go. Anything I missed, Scraby?
Break.
You called it.
Big 5 next.
We all
Coming up, Scraby, set that up for us. Tony Gwynn Jr. at Petco Park. Chris Ello here at the Odyssey Palace Studios. Padres Brew Crew tonight. And a chance for the Padres to clinch a playoff berth with a victory. So we're pretty excited about that. Sam Levitt's got the pregame show an hour from right now. Don't forget this Friday, Scraby and I will be down at Baja Rick's.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live right there next to the ballpark. I believe it's on the 6th Avenue side over there, right? 7th Avenue.
Not good with street numbers.
I know, me
names.
neither. It's on the west side of the stadium, okay?
The west side.
Yeah, if you know that, but
it's
Baja Rick's is, it's right next to that Omni Hotel.
Yes.
Is that a good way to explain it?
Yes, it is. It's right at the entrance of the gas lamp.
Yes. So anyway, come down to Baja Rick's. We're going to have all kinds of goodies to give away. Machado, Tatis, signed baseballs, tickets to games. And it's all brought to you by our friends at Santo Tequila. Baja Rick's will have a special game day menu. Braden and the crew will be broadcasting prior to our show. So get down there early for a little party on Friday. Now, you ready?
Yes, we're going to have to do traffic after the Big Five.
Well, let's get to the Big Five because I can't wait any longer.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, guys, for today, the Big Five is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. All right, we got a lot going on in the Big Five, so I'm not going to waste any time like I usually do.
Number 5.
And we'll get right into it because Adrian Morejon has been absolutely vital to the Padres' success this season. He earned his 20th hold and 13th win over the weekend. The 25-year-old lefty boasts a 2.04 ERA, 0.89 whip, over 70 and 2/3 innings, and 72 appearances. He also ranks 5th in batting average allowed, including a 217 mark against right-handers, and 3rd in pitches per inning, which comes out to, if you round up, 14 pitches per inning. He has stranded, last stat, he has stranded 40 of 45 inherited runners, and the only that is higher is Ben Kasparius, who has...
so the better ratio.
Yeah, better ratio.
Okay.
So, Chris, you're up first here.
Yeah.
Could Adrian Morejon be the MVP of Padres pitching this year?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think Pivetta is probably your MVP, if you're going to choose that award. But Morejon has been valuable, right? Valuable is, part of the equation here. And, I was thinking about this as you were just talking. We have been kind of, on the case of Mike Schilt, recently, especially for managing like it's postseason and going to his bullpen in the 3rd inning and then the 5th inning. And,
Ain't no we. I hope you're talking about you two.
Yes, me and Scraby,
okay,
right?
Okay,
yeah, no,
go.
Tony would never. But anyway, when I said we, honestly, Tony, I think it's me representing a lot of other fans who have been critical of it. But here's the point I wanted to get to. There's a good reason for doing it in the sense that you have Adrian Morejon to bring in. There's a reason why Schilt feels so comfortable taking his starter out, 1 out away from a win, because Adrian Morejon is going to get that last out, probably pitch another inning or two. And as it turns out, he'll end up getting the win. In fact, his 13 wins are easily the record all time for a Padre reliever. I think the previous high was 11. So he's got 13. He's been tremendously valuable, and get used to him. If I was the Cubs, I would be looking at nothing but film of Adrian Morejon, because you're going to see a ton of him in this playoff series and hopefully beyond.
All right, Tony, could Adrian Morejon be the MVP of Padres pitching this year?
If that was actually an award, yes, he would probably be the MVP of the pitchers. I probably agree with Chris. It's probably Pivetta as a starter. It's hard to be an MVP of anything coming out of the bullpen because you're only, subject to those particular appearances. as opposed to a starter who's going to make, especially a guy like Pavetta who's made so many starts and so many of them have been after losses, and he's been that guy all year. But Adrian Monroe certainly has, I think, a legitimate case for the best bullpen arm, period, throughout Major League Baseball. That's how good he has been this season. I mean, lefties, righties, they're all hitting like 179 against him. He's got an amazing repertoire that he can use. And I'm happy for Adrian because of the kind of process he had to go through to get here. I mean, he was a starter, Tommy John, comes back, and it seemed like every year it would start off going well, and he'd get injured or something would pop up. This has been a complete year for Adrian, and he deserves all of the kind of notoriety he's getting this season because of how well he's pitched.
And he is also had his name pronounced and mispronounced 18 different ways wrong all year long. It's either Adrian or Adrian.
No, this goes back to like 2 years ago, where
right?
all of a sudden some people were saying Adrian and some people were saying Adrian.
Listen, I heard his fiance, his wife, call him Adrian.
That's good enough for Elvis.
Yeah, that's good enough for me too.
I'll leave that to scams.
Adrian. His name, if you want to say it like correctly, it's very hard for me to pronounce.
Yeah, so well, whatever his name is, they can't hit him, and that's really good news.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 4.
All right, guys. The next 4 are going to be football, and this one is going to be, about the NFL and the tush push because it's once again in the spotlights after refs failed to call a false start on a tush push yesterday.
After they were told to look for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it up on YouTube right now, so if you want to see it, you can watch and go to YouTube and search 97.3 The Fan. The false start is slight, but it is a false start. And even after the Chiefs complained last week about the false start penalties not being called, the NFL did not correct the situation. Fans and myself think this is the moment the NFL has switched to helping out Eagles with calls.
Okay.
Tony, are the Eagles the new Chiefs?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Chris, are the Eagles the new Chiefs?
You keep bringing this up. I just want you to know that before you were born or when you were very young, the 49ers were the then Chiefs, and Joe Montana was the then Patrick Mahomes. Just understand.
Were they getting calls like this?
Either they were or people perceived that they were, right? Because I'll be going, honestly, I'll go back to the 70s Dolphins. They were the team then. It always follows around the good teams. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that ironic? It's the best teams
like clockwork
that get the calls, and it's been this way forever. So, no, it was a close. This was you had to really slow it down almost to see it. Yeah. So, I mean, I can get it, but I think it's bringing up a larger question, and I think they're going to revisit the tush push again, and I think that's what's going to happen here. Unfortunately, because I've been on the side of the Eagles the whole time. They can do it. Why penalize them? But I think the fact now that they are really the only team that can just get this almost every time, I think now people are starting to feel, right or wrong, that it is a bit of an unfair advantage. There was a time before Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart into the end zone where this was completely and totally illegal to help a runner. And I don't know that the NFL may not think about going back to that rule, and that would then eliminate the tush push, because I'm getting the feeling that it's getting a little louder and louder now.
I don't think Chris watched Adam Scheffler on Sunday morning talk about a lot of the teams are saying that, somebody has to write this rule, this kind of thing in where you debate whether they have a rule.
Right.
The gentleman who did it for the Packers last year retired, and it doesn't sound like there's an appetite for someone to write the rule.
Okay,
and not only that, they're saying it's not even guaranteed that it's going to get a vote this next coming off season.
Yeah.
So I thought I heard Teddy Bruschi kind of put it best. He said this is the ultimate flex for a football team. They're always looking for something like this to hold over other teams, and the fact that you have 31 other teams, I shouldn't say 31, about half of them complaining about not being able to stop your play, It's like an ultimate mental victory for the Eagles every time they walk on the field. They know, and you know, they're going to run that play, and they know that you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And so I think whether it ends up getting, cast aside as a bad illegal play eventually, I think that'll remain to be seen. But it doesn't sound like it's going to happen this coming.
No,
off
not
season.
this season. Well, we'll see. Yeah.
Well, between Lane Johnson and the tush-push false starts, they literally false start on every play. Maybe I should take out the word literally because they might have one that they didn't.
No, as far as I know, the 49ers and other NFC teams ought to just pack in the season because they've already decided that the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
With that offense?
According to you.
With that offense?
According to you.
Number 3.
Buccaneers quarterback.
The offense that you're complaining that is dominating offenses
What
right
do
now.
you mean? Yeah, what's the matter with the Eagles offense?
Until about like the midway through the third quarter, they hadn't even thrown a touchdown pass in the season.
Yeah,
they
ended
have
up with like 30
and they
points.
didn't seem to need one, did they?
The NFL helped them a little bit with that false start.
Okay.
Buccaneers quarterback. I just hate the Eagles. They're my they're my new team. It's the Eagles and the Chiefs. I just can't stand, and it's only because they're good. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield didn't hold back when asked about the significance of a 29-27 victory over the Jets on Sunday. He specifically pointed to Steve Wilks, the Jets defensive coordinator who cut the quarterback when he was coach of the Carolina Panthers, as to why it was so special. Mayfield said after the game, quote, "I loved it. And also their D coordinator was the one that cut me in Carolina." But we're going to go back to the Browns because they're still searching for a quarterback that can lead this franchise. Chris,
this is a Browns.
Yeah, how did the Browns get into?
Well, the Browns got into this because
he's angry at the Browns now because they beat the Packers and eliminated him from
that is true.
The survivor pool.
That is true.
It's funny how this all goes full circle.
No.
Never fail.
I always thought that the Browns unfairly jettisoned Baker Mayfield from their team. And so I felt like they put all the blame on him. He ends up going in middling places for a few years. Now he's with the Bucs, and he's great.
Okay.
So, Chris, did the Browns ultimately make that mistake by letting him go?
Well, apparently so, but they're not the first team ever to do this. The Miami Dolphins, I believe, when Drew Brees was let go by the Chargers,
yes, they did.
had their choice. In fact, it wasn't even really a choice. Drew Brees begged Nick Saban to go down to Miami and be the yeah, he's an older coach. Drew Brees begged Nick Saban to go to Miami, and Nick Saban said, "I don't think so." And the Miami Dolphins went for Dante Culpepper, and the organization has never been the same. So, and the Dolphins also drafted Tua over Herbert, and you could go on and on all these mistakes that other teams make. So
that one's really looking rough.
Yeah, it's not looking good either. Anyway, so yes, I think they did. And by the way, I couldn't be happier for a guy that gets cut unceremoniously from a bad coach on a bad team
for Odell Beckham Jr.
and then gets a chance to come back around and win. And I think he had every right to call this guy out and get the win like
Odell
that.
Beckham Jr. What?
He got cut right after his dad started complaining about the quarterback play in Cleveland.
No, but that coach wasn't coaching the Browns.
But that's not
he was
what
coaching
cut him from the
Panthers.
Panthers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about the Panthers.
Misunderstood. What
Anyway,
you were
good for
talking
Baker
He tried to
Mayfield.
bring Beckham in this, and his father. In
Leave
this
old
too,
Beckham
also.
alone for a change. And by the way, we
Leave
mentioned
old Beckham alone.
We mentioned it earlier in the good and the bad and the ugly. I think Mayfield's a top contender for MVP through 3 games. The way he's rallied his team.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Tony, did the Browns make a mistake by letting Baker go?
Yeah, of course they did. They gave up on too early. They suffer from the same thing all our teams suffer from, not having any patience, and the fact that their, leadership was already, in flux as it was, and not the greatest. They should have had even more patience. Just to defend Saban, because I heard him actually talk about this.
Brees was coming off of an injury. Is that what
he was?
He
He was coming off
a
really bad, horrific
injury.
shoulder
injury.
injury.
Yes, he was.
That being said, Saban was on board with it. It was the team doctor who was like, "There's no way you can sign this guy to whatever deal."
That's what you get for listening to a doctor,
man. Dr. Dolphin.
And he
Dr.
did say
Dolphin.
he did say he ultimately had the choice to overrule him, but he decided to.
The noise was really loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The GM walked over to the Dolphin tank and was like, "Mr. Dolphin, do you think Drew Brees' shoulder's going to hold up?" Can't sign him.
No.
Can't sign him.
They took that to mean a no. Yeah.
Can't sign him. I think there was only like 2 or 3 teams. I know the Dolphins and the Saints were interested.
I thought it was those 2.
So it's not like they really missed because every other team missed.
Yeah, but
But they had him in. He was literally begging to go to Miami, though.
I mean, Tampa Bay had Steve Young and ended up letting him roll over to the 49ers, where he went to be into the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's stories like this all over the map.
Sure. Number 2.
All right, Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns took care of business, 55-0 over Sam Houston State on Saturday. But many fans are looking at Arch Manning for something he did after he ran the second touchdown of the game in what? What was Tony laughing about?
Yes, you just go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to put it on YouTube. You can search 97.3 The Fan again if you want to see this. But Arch runs the ball in the end zone, then stands over a Sam Houston State player, and then continues to go at the player as he walks off the field. And if you're seeing it right now, it seems a little hollow that Arch Manning's doing this with his team. He hasn't been playing great. So fans are like, hey, this is not cool. You're just standing over a guy because you're going to get an easy win and you're able to do something great. Tony, is Arch flexing?
He's pretty fired up, man. Look at him coming off the field for those on the YouTube. I mean, there was something here, I think. But
there
Tony
was something here. So it wasn't even like he ran over the guy, but he stands over him, blah, 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 blah. Tony, did Arch do anything wrong here?
I mean, no. This is light work. I think, to Chris's point, I think he's just fired up. You kind of mentioned he hasn't played up to the level of expectation. He runs one in and get a little chance to kind of flex a little bit. Listen. It's not the best look. You can get you 15 yards. I think ultimately for taunting, right? That's probably the only issue I really have. These guys do this every week. I'm sure the next touchdown had something similar as well. I don't know if it was him or somebody else, but I don't know. I don't know if I've just become just not. I just don't have any.
You're not fazed by this stuff
anymore,
because
I feel like we see it like all the time, and so to me, that one was light. We've seen much worse that have led to like fisticuffs. That was just kind of like him standing over him. I don't know. I didn't see too much.
The referee pulls him aside for some reason after, and he probably said, "It's against Sam Houston State. Calm down, buddy."
No, he didn't.
I don't think
he probably did what he should have done, which is, hey man,
chill out.
But here's the thing: we don't know. I mean, this guy is number 6 was the guy. He's probably a safety or something. He's probably on the line of scrimmage for the first quarter of the game. Yeah. Screaming at Arch Manning about the golden spoon in his mouth and the Heisman and all of this crap. You don't know what's being said down there. So you can only take so much of that if you're Arch Manning, and maybe you run the guy in for the touchdown, you let him know about it. I'm almost to the point now where I want my guys to celebrate like that, because otherwise I don't feel like they're really into it. This is what's happening. I saw Jalen Waddle get a touchdown a couple of weeks ago, and he didn't do his waddle.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what's the matter? Like, you're not even like, getting fired up.
His team stinks.
I don't know. I think that has something to do
with it. But that has something to do with it, doesn't it? It kind of sends that message. So, I don't think this. I like Tony, man. This was light work. I think we're looking to pick on Arch Manning right now, and there's some things you can pick on him for, but I don't think that's it.
I agree.
Number 1.
The ACC fined Syracuse $25,000 and publicly reprimanded the school for faking injuries in their 34-21 win over Clemson. The ACC stated that Syracuse actions were, quote, unethical and contrary to the spirit of the rules, violating an NCAA rule against faking injuries to slow down play. 2 players and a coach allegedly tried to gain an unmerited advantage by stopping the game for an injury timeout. Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik accused Syracuse of faking these injuries, which disrupted their tempo and rhythm. Chris, do you agree with the fine here?
Well, I do, because the NCAA talked about this in the offseason. They said they're not going to allow this stuff anymore.
So that's what happened with
it's been happening
in Ohio State.
It's been happening over and over the last several years. So
Oregon and Ohio State.
They need to clean it up, and so I don't have a problem. But I'm glad you brought this up, because nowhere have I seen today the Oklahoma Sooners being fined for the very same thing that Syracuse was fined. And if you saw the Oklahoma-Auburn game, you may have read about this, but Oklahoma with the ball on about the 30-yard line, Tony, their wide receiver started to walk off the field to the near sideline where Oklahoma's sideline was. And he had his head down, and he was clearly going out of the game, except he didn't. He stopped right before the sideline, lined up. They snapped the ball. No one covered him. They threw the ball to him, touchdown. Oklahoma ended up winning by 7. After the game, the SEC reprimanded those officials because that is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. You're not allowed to deceive the other team.
It wasn't like a trick play?
I swear I've seen that trick play.
I have seen that too.
There's a trick play, but then there's a deceiving the team. And I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm not arguing.
Whoa. Well, I'm just trying to tell you, the broadcasters at the time, the referee, they have the guest referee. He said it's totally illegal, should have been called. The SEC reprimanded the official, said it should have been called. Oklahoma, for its part, said, we were just trying to pick up tempo. Well, that's a load of crap. I thought it was really, really unethical. I get trick plays. This was not a trick play. This was completely designed to deceive Auburn, and it worked, but they should have been flagged for it. And if you're going to fine Syracuse for clearly unethical behavior, I think you should do the same to Oklahoma.
I wonder if it's because the team like officially complained, and that's why they got fined. When Tony might be right, conferences.
Well, Auburn was complaining. The Auburn coach was losing his mind on the sidelines.
Did they put in an official complaint?
I don't know.
It's definitely a conference thing. The SEC runs a completely different show than
the
ACC. Secondly, it just goes further to show you. I think the SEC they just want their teams to be their top teams to be the top team.
Yes, right. Oklahoma's moved into the top 10 because of this win.
I guarantee you. I mean, I shouldn't say guarantee you, but I feel like if they were a team that was down on their luck, like they had been the previous couple of years, there might have been some ramifications to this. But you don't want to mess up that top spot or suspend somebody and force that team to lose, and now you're going to lose out on one of those playoff spots.
Let me ask you this, Tony, just as an aside to this situation. And I think if you had seen the play live, kind of like I did.
Yeah, I didn't see the play.
Right.
So
I think everybody would have understood how unethical it looked, and then how Oklahoma was like, we didn't do anything type of thing. But where is the line now? Because we all want to get an edge. But do you feel okay with somebody doing actually something flat out unethical to win a game like that?
No, I think that's no different than I don't know, if for some reason you look like you were faking an injury and then started lining up right as everybody's that would be that. I think that if he was truly looking like he was walking off.
Oh yeah, he did.
I think
Scrappy would find a video. We'll put it up.
We'll do it.
Everybody can judge for themselves.
I didn't see this, but yes. All right. That's it for the Big Five. Padres need one more win to clinch a playoff
And then we play the mariachi music?
Yes, and then we play the mariachi music. All of that next hour. They're confirmed. Remember, Chris? They're confirmed into the playoffs.
That's it, yes.
On 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, it's Gavin Sheets is with us, and Manny's a big reason why the Padres have had the kind of season they've had so far. And, I've said it many times, where would we be without you, Gavin? I want to ask a little bit about left field. You have really impressed, a lot of people, I think, from, how far you've come in left field. And maybe, the early games, there was just a matter of kind of getting reacquainted with it out there. It's not easy. Balls are slicing. Balls are hit hard over your head.
Yeah.
I hope we can start laughing now. Is it long enough since the collision with the fence? But look, man.
Trust me, we're well past that. I think I'm in a couple different group chats, and I think that's the picture of me against the wall. So trust me, these guys did a lot. they didn't wait very long. I can promise you that.
I bet. Well, you're lucky. You're lucky that, because I've seen a lot of teams will go out there the next day and somebody will tape an outline of the player up against the fence where they ran it. I didn't see the Padres do that. But what I'm saying is. Go ahead.
I'm very happy we got to San Fran quickly.
Yeah, right. You got out of town.
That's right. We left right after.
That's what happened. But no, let's be serious, because left field, I think you've been great, and really done a nice job, made some really good catches out there. I think it seems to me that Schilt and the staff, are pretty comfortable with you out there. Where are you at in left field?
Yeah, I think that, no, you said it right. I think, in the beginning, getting out there, just
because I had never really played left, and getting out there, 1 day a week, once every 2 weeks, that was tough. And you know, I knew that once they kind of gave me the keys to left field, I bought in and enjoyed it. Took it as obviously a huge compliment to be thrown out there, and and just put a lot of work out there. Macias and I, the outfield coach, we busted our butt out there, and kind of enjoyed it. Enjoyed the process of it. Enjoyed growing as an outfielder. Enjoyed the, just being able to help the team in many different ways. And I think just buying in and putting in work out there. But you're right. I think I grew a lot out there from April and May to where we are now.
Gavin, I want to highlight something you kind of alluded to in one of your earlier answers. You said that your role might change. Talk a little bit about watching as everybody else was last night, as all these deals are flurrying through. Talk about kind of recognizing that maybe your role changes a little bit, but also the excitement of acquiring all of this talent as you guys, focus on perhaps winning a World Series.
Yeah. Man, it was, I felt like a fan like everybody else yesterday, just watching along and seeing all the moves that were being made across the league. And I think what we did yesterday just solidifies that everybody in the clubhouse has the same goal. Front office all the way down, ownership all the way down. And, obviously we bring in the players that we brought in. It makes this team extremely dangerous from top to bottom. And then you look at our pitching and our bullpen, and man, thank God I'm on this team, because coming to San Diego and getting potentially Mason Miller in the 5th inning, that's about as good as it gets. And obviously I don't know what the role is going to be going forward. I don't know how we're going to manage everything. Obviously that's way out of my control, but I do know that we all have the same goal in mind, and I think that it really showed yesterday that we're not messing around and we're going for it.
And you've kind of sent that message again also, Gavin. I mean, the one thing I've been really impressed with, along with your growth in left field, is the hitting against left-handers. I don't know that they, you can look at numbers, et cetera. I think the team, the staff, they want to see you against some left-handed pitching, but I don't know that they expected a lot. And then you came in there and started tearing up left-handed pitching pretty good. So, I think you're going to get chances the next 2 months because of the way you performed. Just real quick for us, standing in the batter's box, what is your mindset, or is it any different against a lefty as opposed to a righty?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just is staying a little bit more opposite field gap oriented against lefties. I think that's what brought a lot of success for me, especially average wise. I think, obviously my damage is more against righties. But I think I might be hitting for a higher average against lefties. And that's because, staying in there a little bit longer and using that opposite field gap, and, everything's kind of be going away from me, and just trying to buy into, just being a really good hitter and a really.
All right, welcome back. Happy hour time, Scrape. Time to be happy. We've been happy pretty much all day. This hour on 97.3, The Fan, is the happy hour. Brought to you by our friends at GL Pools. And if you love Mediterranean food,
wait.
I know, I'm looking for the GL Pools thing. There's a lot of different things I got to read here. The swimming pool experts. Yes. And, of course, they're trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. They've been doing it a while and doing it well. Baseball, it's been back. And swim season, it's still going strong. Call now. Mention radio. You get a free month of pool service. GL Pools. Appreciate them bringing us. I want to wish my friend Jose out there. He knows who he is. I don't think he listens to the show.
Okay.
But he is I've been in my fantasy baseball league for like 12 years, this one, and I talk about it and complain about it with you all the time.
Well, it's the weirdest fantasy league I've ever heard.
It's very involved. Let's just put it that way.
And you don't use American League players. And if you trade for a player and then they're traded to the American League, you just lose the player.
You lose them. Yeah, that can be a frustration. Anyway, Jose and I have been in like 6th, 7th, or 8th place for 12 straight years. I've escaped every now and again to finish 3rd or, make a little run at it. Last year I was close and then fell off at the end. Anyway, with 1 week to go, Jose's on top.
Nice job.
He's never won before. He's 1 point ahead of a guy, Rick. And if you're out there, Rick, sorry, Rick wins every time.
Who cares about Rick winning?
Exactly. We're kind of all rooting for Jose. I hate to say it. But he traded Jose with a month to go, traded me Corbin Carroll because he really wanted Kyle Tucker. And he's like, kind of begged me. He's like, please, I need Kyle Tucker to try to win the league. And I was like, okay, I'll help you. Well, Corbin Carroll's been great for me. Kyle Tucker's been injured for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he'd be if he hadn't made that trade. But he's on top. So Jose, good luck hanging on the final week of our fantasy baseball season.
Let's go, Jose.
Yeah, kind of rooting for him. He's a really nice guy. Just one of those guys, shows up, has fun, contributes to the league, and like me, usually loses. Not this year, though.
Good job.
Yeah, for him. What was I going to say? Oh, the survivor pool, you're out. 51 people are left. So you guys are all doing pretty well out there, but we did lose about 15 people this weekend with the Packers.
Stupid Packers.
Yeah. I told you last week, I said you can't pick. I said you can. I said, but you got to be careful about picking on the road. In the NFL, you just never can tell. Somebody's going to get ambushed. They're probably going to get ambushed on the road.
I understand.
But there was no way the Packers should have ever lost that game.
No, that's the thing, is that if they lost it and it was
10-0 with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And the Browns couldn't gain a yard. It was like they're never going to get 10 points. They didn't. They got 13.
I hate the stupid eliminator.
Well,
at least I made it to 3 weeks.
The one nice thing about the eliminator is when you're done, then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, yeah, but at least I made it to 3 weeks.
And I thought Adam Klug got a good point last week. We were talking about it with him, our boss. And he goes, who are you picking this week? And I said, I'm going to take Buffalo over Miami. And you said something like, well, you're not going to save them, huh? And Adam said, what's the point of saving a team in the eliminator pool? Nobody ever wins it anyway. And it's kind of true. Like, unless you're in one of those like circle ones where you buy like different combinations of teams, you pick 3 or 4 teams one week and 2 or 3 another week. To actually pick one team 17 straight weeks is pretty unlikely. It can happen, but it's pretty unlikely.
Well, the person who won last year,
they did it, didn't they?
They did.
In our league.
I mean, it went down to the wire.
And they got all the way.
All the way.
Yeah, we'll see how that holds up.
Yeah.
All right. Lions and Ravens, by the way, kicking off for Monday Night Football in just a little while. The Atlanta Falcons, who were embarrassing yesterday in a 30-0 loss to the Panthers, they fixed the problem, Scrape. Fired wide receiver coach Ike Hilliard.
Oh,
that ought to do it.
Every time something like this happens, it drives me insane.
Yeah.
It's not anybody else's
pick
fault.
The wide receiver coach, like, okay, Drake London maybe isn't good, but you're going to blame him for everything that ails you?
Michael Penix threw, I think, at least 1 pick six, maybe 2?
One, but another. He's only thrown 1 touchdown this year, and that was a swing pass that Bijan Robinson took to the house. Michael Penix has not progressed yet. We talked about C.J. Stroud seems to have regressed some. And the other thing was, let's go back to the Packers for a minute. Matt LaFleur. Don't disagree with him here, Scrabe. Started getting wind late last week that his players were walking around talking about going undefeated after a 2-0 start.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Apparently,
maybe get to 10.
Maybe. Apparently, lineman Rashid Walker said, I think we can go undefeated, honestly, when he was asked after the win over Washington 2 weeks ago. Matt LaFleur said, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. All you can do is go 1-0 each week. And he goes, I started hearing that, and I was like, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
And he was right.
Yeah.
You can't think like that. And I'm not trying to pat the 72 Dolphins on the back. Well, maybe I am. But that they did it. it's really, there's a reason no one's ever done that. And to start thinking about it after 2 weeks is pretty stupid when you think, you get down to it.
2 weeks is crazy.
Yeah. So
that's absolutely insane.
Packers will not be doing that this year.
That is absolutely insane.
A couple more. James Conner's out for the year, running back. Bummer. 49ers, cheaters, injured him. And
they lost also Nick Bosa.
They lost Bosa. That's because they cheated. The injury gods got them back for that.
I didn't like that Nick Bosa, when walking off the field, looked up in the stands at someone and did the thumbs down as he's walking.
Why didn't you
off
like that? He was just telling probably his wife or something that it's not looking good.
I know. That's why I didn't like it, because I knew the answer already.
Yeah. One last thing on football. New York Giants coach Brian Daboll is apparently leaving it open again for a quarterback. He wouldn't commit to Russell Wilson again as his starter today or whatever.
Goodness.
We're going to look at the tape, he said, that type of thing. Shouldn't the Giants just cash it all in and start playing Jackson Dart now and see what they have?
This is my bold prediction. Jackson Dart comes in, saves the season, and takes the Giants to the playoffs.
They're 0-3. Obviously, Russell Wilson, who had some moments in the Dallas game, went right back to what he's been last night. It doesn't help that Daniel Jones is 3-0.
I was just about to bring it up.
Yeah. All right.
And he looks good.
He's looking really good. All right. Padres, Brewers, clinching night, or so we hope. I wanted you to get the video, if you can, to show it to the people of that Oklahoma cheating play.
But we had something to do in this segment that we didn't do.
In this segment?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So we'll do it next segment.
Yes.
So maybe the Oklahoma cheating play, you'll have to look it up
That'll
yourself.
be at the end of the segment.
You'll have to look it up yourself. First, we'll check traffic because we're getting set to send it to pregame shortly.
From the 8th.
At least of the regular season.
Are there playoff roundtables?
I don't know. I'll have to ask the roundtable pizza people about that. But we'll have a roundtable this Thursday. That'll be the Padres off day this week. Most everyone else is taking the off day today. Dodgers are off. Cubs are off. Mets are off. Reds are off. Diamondbacks are off. So everyone's off. Padres and Brewers, though, tonight, Padres win. They clinch a spot in the playoffs. So they got that going for them. Mike Schilt, before the game, talking about why Fernando is not in the lineup tonight, nor is Ramon Laureano. But before he tells you that, Scraby has to tell you this.
Yes, this hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples is hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1, plus save even more at the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Do they have Staples?
Oh, Adam just texted me. Yes, roundtables go as long as the Padres are alive.
Hey, all right.
Let's go. Let's go for a deep run of roundtables in October.
That's more pizza for us.
That's more pizza for us. You're right.
Yes. All right. So Thursday will be roundtable. Friday, we're going to be Scraby and I following Braden's show.
Yes.
Both shows will be broadcasting live out of Baja Ricks.
Please come down. We have
right next to the Omni.
Good price.
Adjacent to the stadium.
Yep.
Fernando, Manny signed baseballs, tickets. Not only that, just Baja Ricks is a really fun place to hang out before the game.
You know what Friday. He says in his commercial on the station that gets me every time, and I don't know why people don't use this more as a marketing tool. He said, try our new baños. Apparently they remodeled the bathrooms, and that's enough to get me in there. Because if I know that you have a clean bathroom, I will frequent your place.
Did not know. All right. I don't know that I'd want to tell everybody because I don't want everybody frequenting my place.
Well, you got to buy stuff, but still, at the same time, it's like, all right, I'm going to go to Baja Ricks and have a clean bathroom.
I will say one thing. I appreciate a good, clean public bathroom.
Thank you.
All right. That's more info than you need out there. But here's some info you probably do need.
Yes.
Fernando's not in the lineup tonight on clinching night. Either's Laureano. Here's Mike Schilt on that.
Laureano's a scheduled day. He's been going pretty hard. Toddy is not feeling great. Didn't wake up feeling really good. So we're getting him checked out. So his is more, from a reason, and Laureano's more from just he's ridden pretty hard and he's ready to go, ready to get a day off his feet.
I guess
somebody make some chicken soup and send it to Fernando, please.
I know.
We need him back quickly. Whatever it is, whatever your penicillin recipe is, get it to Fernando.
Get it to Fernando.
Send it down to the locker room.
Please.
Rise will be leading off tonight. Machado, Merrill, and then Sheets, O'Hearn, and Cronenworth. Bryce Johnson starts tonight. Iglesias, Diaz catches Pavetta. Good to see Ryan O'Hearn, 7 hits. And the huge 3-run double, really to win the game Saturday, after a slump, a lengthy slump that he talked about on our show Friday. So I'm glad
go back to listen to that interview because you can hear in his voice that he's like, "I'm ready. I'm ready to break out of this."
We didn't bring up the slump. He did twice,
and I like that.
And then he went about ending it. Yelich leads off from Milwaukee. By the way, Yelich has found the fountain of youth here. I don't know that he was that old. But remember, he was an MVP.
Yeah.
Was it 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
He's having that kind of a season this year, even though Ohtani will end up winning. So,
I know why he's had a renaissance, or at least have a feeling on why, because he was my fantasy player this year. So I found a little lightning in the bottle. But he got back surgery in the offseason, and his back has been bothering him. And some are crediting the back surgery with why he's had a renaissance.
All right. Jackson Churio's on this Milwaukee club. Bryce Terang, who last year was like a stolen base guy, is now hitting nothing but home runs, and he bats third.
Hasn't he stolen a bunch of bases too?
Yes, but he's also become a home run threat somehow.
So now he's a power stealer.
Another guy two other guys that have really come out of nowhere from Milwaukee. Andrew Vaughn, who bats sixth. He was acquired from the White Sox, who just were happy to give him away.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't stop hitting home runs. And the other guy's Isaac Collins, who's become like a great player after the Rockies figured they didn't need him either. Anyway, Brew Crew, Padres, Peralta, Pavetta should be good tonight. Here's an update on Xander, who's not in there tonight, but is getting closer, says Mike Schilt.
Yeah. Before you guys maybe saw batting practice, he went through quite a workout and got him on the bases and really stretched him out, home to first to third, second to home, and then took him through a nice ground ball routine that, forced him to go to all different angles, backhand, slow roller, forehand, double plays, feeds and pivots. And he really looked good. He looked really good. Then he took some swings off the machine in BP and just got there sitting down with him and feels good. And unless something, unfortunate happens, we would expect him to be in there tomorrow. But we just have to see how he recovers from today, which is a pretty extensive workout, but he looked fantastic.
All right, there we go. Mike Schilt with the latest for you.
Love it.
And Sammy will have more of that stuff coming up. Pregame show in about 10 minutes.
If you want to go see more video, we have Ryan O'Hearn. We have Manny Machado on Twitter at 97.3 The Fan SD.
All right. Back one time, real quick, to that Oklahoma football game. And it's not because I'm talking Oklahoma football. It's because I'm talking about where does the line draw in your mind between doing everything you can to get an edge and just flat out cheating and basically, I think unsporting at the very least what Oklahoma did. I know it sounds nice, right? But I just think deceiving the other team, doing something, to me, that I just don't care for it. To me, it's playing golf with somebody who's, for whatever reason, moving their ball into a better lie.
Yeah.
Like, if you really need to do that, fine. I'm not going to call you out on it. But if we're going to play for money or whatever, do it right. You know what I mean?
I do.
There's people like that. They're so competitive. They have to, either push the envelope or cheat. And I just thought what Oklahoma did the other day was not right. In fact, I thought it was wrong. And the SEC officials admit they missed the call. But if you didn't see it, Scravy will put the video on for the YouTube. For the rest of you, the Oklahoma receiver walked off the field, only he didn't leave the field. He stopped before he got to the sideline, like 1 foot from the sideline. And then they snapped the ball and he ran down the field and they threw him a touchdown because no one was guarding him. They all thought he had left the game. People who saw the game, who covered the game, the former officials who were assigned to the game said that's deceiving the other team. That is a 15-yard penalty. The Oklahoma people said, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I just thought we were going up tempo. I think that they should be a little embarrassed for trying this. And that's where I want to bring you in and ask you, Scrape, or anybody out there. We all want to get an edge. But when does doing something like this cross over to the line of banging trash cans?
See, the problem with this is I have seen plays, and we talked about this in the Big Five, but I have seen plays where a person will go over to the sideline and they will pretend like they're talking to the coach, and then all of a sudden, boom, the ball snapped, and then they go down the field. So that's why I don't understand why this is different.
I don't know exactly why either, but I know if you go off the field and you come on, you have to run at least out to the numbers before you can line up.
See, that's new news,
right? You can't just come out on the field and line up right next to the sideline. And the whole point here is deceiving the other team. And if you watch this video, which I'm sure you have now, Scrape, look at the guy at the bottom of your screen. It's pretty clear that he looks like he's walking off the field.
It does look like he's walking off the field.
And then he stops, and then they snap the ball. And they got the touchdown, and they end up winning by 7. There was also a fumble 6 that was overturned in this game by the officials. I don't know if Auburn had a claim on that one also, but that was not, at least in the realm in my mind, of pushing the envelope toward flat out cheating. I've always felt if you got to win that bad, and I know it's big business and I shouldn't say it, but if you got to win that bad, I'm like, go ahead, you win. Like, I don't even want to play and compete against you. I don't care for that. If I'm playing tennis and we're calling our lines, then call it right. If you're going to call every shot I hit out, fine. But why am I even playing then? Be legit.
It's like, okay, so I remember playing pickup basketball years ago, and you're supposed to call your own fouls.
Yes.
But there's always one person who calls every foul.
Yeah.
And then there's always one person who has to argue a foul being called.
Right.
I can understand why you're thinking, because the guy does look like he's walking off the field. I also kind of think Auburn needs to pay attention, because they're clearly, I counted, there was 10 guys. So there's got to be a coach on the sideline being like, that guy's in play.
I don't know.
Because the corner of Auburn had no idea he was out there.
No.
Didn't even want to cover.
Nobody knew he was out there. When they first showed the play on live TV, I was like, wow, what a busted coverage that was.
Yeah.
There's no one guarding this guy. And then they showed the replay, and that's when it became apparent what happened. I wouldn't be so adamant about this if the SEC didn't come out and say we blew the call.
See, that's where.
So that that
we have to take our cue from.
Right. You have to take your cue from the fact that they say that it should have been called an unsportsmanlike penalty. So I just don't like the fact that Oklahoma even did it in the first place. That bothers me. I wish we could get to a point of, just both teams give it your best shot, but keep it within what you're supposed to do. I don't care for that kind of thing there.
Okay, let me try and
that's fine.
Put it into baseball.
Okay.
Do you think the hidden ball trick is lame?
Yeah, that's
because the Padres have tried that this year.
Now, you know what? That one, it's not illegal to do, right?
No.
So that's the difference. So I do think
I can buy that.
I think it's a little unsporting, yes, but it's within the rules. If time is in, you can cheat like that, or not cheat, but if time is in, you can fake like you don't have the ball. In a football game, you can't fake like you're walking off the field and do what that guy did and get away with it if they call it right. That's the difference, but I think you're close there.
Let's go to basketball. What's the rule on basketball? Can someone just stand near the sideline and not run up and down the court and just get fed a pass?
But I don't think you have to run back and play defense. You can just stand there at the other end of the court and wait for them to cherry pick and throw the ball.
That's what I was
going
to say. Isn't there like a cherry picking rule, or is that just pickup?
There's no rules. There's no rule even in pickup.
Oh, well.
If somebody does it, everybody just goes, Scraby, get down here, you cherry picker.
Exactly.
That's all that happens there. All right.
Okay. Last thing.
Okay.
Back to college football.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning in his thing last year where they faked an injury to get the clock to move, and then they ended up winning the game.
Don't care for it. Even though that was within the rules, I don't even care for that.
Fair.
And they had to change the rule.
As long as you're consistent. And they did change the rule, which tells me that it was a little bit weird.
I mean, don't you think Dan Lanning wants to win maybe too much, if there is such a thing? Like to the point where he would run over his mother with a truck to get the victory.
He does seem like that guy.
So that's not my kind of guy.
He does seem like that guy for sure. But he is very good at coaching.
He's successful. We'll see. You know, if Auburn ever, I'll tell you one thing. If I ever got up 4 touchdowns on Oregon, I'd be looking to make it 5.
Oh, I'd looking to make it 7.
Yeah, right.
I would be pulling out all the stops for that guy.
All right, Sam.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying, according to the chat.
Yes, I know, and that's an old saying.
It is.
But there comes a point where you're, again, then you're okay with the Astros, and I know you're not. Not you, but even whoever wrote that probably isn't okay with the Astros.
No, because that was going so far beyond things. You're creating a buzzer.
I thought this Oklahoma thing went too far.
And then you got Jose Altuve coming home, and he's just like,
take my shirt off.
Thank you, Jose. Scravy, good job.
Thanks.
You and I are going down. We'll be in the celebration tonight. Bring you some coverage on the show tomorrow if there is a celebration.
Let's hope it happens.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll be there for that, and catch up to you at 2 tomorrow for Tony, Scravy, Chris here, and Sammy Levitt next from Petco.